WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. Your home for Stones baseball. Sportsvisions 92.1. You are listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Thursday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones' baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones. We call him the Swiss Army knife, and he's the dad of Lindley and Morgan, Richard Holdridge. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, DJ. It's Throwback Thursday. I'm excited for the weekend and ready to talk sports.
Throwback Thursday indeed. Again, I'm excited. Of course, you know what? It's Spring training is in full effect now. Obviously, all the pitchers and catchers have reported, and most of the position players are starting to come into the fold, Richie. And I'm looking forward to not only getting reports out of North Point, but I'm looking forward to getting reports from all of the major league training sites and in Florida and in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm excited about spring training. It really officially kicks off the baseball season, and we've got spring training games that's happening next week. I'm actually looking at the schedule. I'm trying to see when the Braves will play. Yeah, they'll take on the Tampa Bay Rays on Saturday, February the 21st. So we'll finally get to see the Braves in action. I wish that we can get more access and try to get these games either live streamed or televised, because I love watching spring training games. I know that we don't get an opportunity to watch many of them, but yeah, spring training, the games officially start next week.
And, of course, we introduced our newest, contributor, and he's not new to the Sports Vision family. He is new to the Braves family, of course, calling on the Braves as their beat reporter. And I'm talking about Chad Bishop. What a relationship. I mean, again, he was our Georgia Tech guy during the college football season. And now, of course, his assignment is for the Braves. And what a perfect time.
Yeah, I love talking to a guy who's well-versed, that can do a lot of things, especially when it comes to being a beat writer at any team. It's just like, go ahead, sign me up. I'll go ahead and I'll cover that team. And he did a great job with Georgia Tech. We appreciated him just getting the insight to us during the season for Georgia Tech. And now he's switching roles, and now he's going to be talking about the Braves, and looking forward to catching up with Chad every chance we get.
And the good news is out of North Point is that our guy, our superstar, I tell you what, Ronald Acuna Jr., he has officially declared himself healthy, and to the point of, obviously, he played winter ball back in his homeland of Venezuela. And, of course, he's getting ready to head down to Miami to play in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, he is going to play for Venezuela, and I'm going to be cheering on for him. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the World Baseball Classic. I hope that, he's able to do well over there. And you got to treat the World Baseball Classic, if you're a Major League Baseball player, as like it's your spring training. So you just got to, all the routines that you do in spring training, you just got to apply to it with the World Baseball Classic.
Absolutely. And of course, we talked about the happenings right across the other side of town with the Atlanta Falcons, or just north of Truist Park up in Flowery Branch. Again, we got the bad news that, the first round draft pick, and of course what we thought was going to be our next best thing, James Pierce Jr. is in big, big trouble.
Yeah, absolutely devastating news. It actually broke over the weekend during the Super Bowl weekend. And I'm actually going through my phone. I'm thinking, is this a joke? I mean, I'm hoping this is a fake news story, because reading everything that happened, it is serious enough to where he is more than likely going to be suspended. I'm hoping that he can get cleared from all these charges. I mean, he's got 5 felony charges. I mean, you talk about it, leaving the scene, hit and run, having a battery charge, and dealing with the law enforcement. Just every charge on there, it sickens me. I'm hoping that he gets his life turned around. It's more than about football. But, yeah, that would be a tremendous loss. And right now we're just hoping that everything works out and he gets cleared from these charges.
Absolutely. But let's go ahead and say good morning to everybody out there that's watching us on Facebook as well as YouTube. We appreciate the fact that you are joining us. And again, we don't take it for granted. We know that we are here to entertain, to, of course, entertain, inform, and educate. Boy, I tell you, got a little fog brain this morning, but anyway, we're definitely here on the spot. But again, we don't take it for granted that we appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started. And I know that, Richard, this is something that this is a dream of many, many people to have. Can you believe just waking up in the morning, talking sports, helping folks get their day started, being a positive influence for the good of our community?
It's been a dream of mine, DJ, ever since college when these two guys who were like upperclassmen, one was a grad student, I think one was a teacher, got an opportunity to be a sports talk radio host in the weekend. And I'm like, I looked at them, I'm like, man, why can't I do that? And I was pushing myself, motivating myself. And then I finally got my chance when I was in college. And then I once again was trying to get on, and whether it's just being as an intern somewhere, but I've been in big markets before, and I know how tough and how competitive it was, but it was always a lifelong dream of mine to do local sports talk radio.
And for all of our friends out there in WLTC Sportsvisions 921 land, we love you, but it ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Hello, somebody. Let's get this party started, Richard. Obviously, again, the great news keeps rolling out. Of course, my good friend, former college roommate, as well as college chum, Herschel Walker, the Maxwell Football Club, yesterday announced the creation of the Herschel Walker Award. And you might say, wow, great for Herschel. But it's not, though, everybody knows that he's the greatest, one of the greatest college football, if not the greatest college football player in the history of the sport. But it's a new honor recognizing former collegiate or professional football players who have returned to complete their undergraduate degrees, exemplifying perseverance, personal growth, and a lifelong commitment to education. And again, the award was named for Herschel, one of the most accomplished and recognizable figures in college football history. And again, we all know what Herschel did at the University of Georgia. Boy, I tell you what, I had a bird's eye seat of watching him run. And of course, what could be possibly the greatest running back in the history of college football. And again, a lot of folks, I have no doubt, but I have to put it out there like that because some people think that they have others, but Herschel is certainly a name that we will never forget.
Absolutely. I'm glad that they're able to acknowledge student athletes who they go back and they get their degree, whether they go into the professional realm. And I think that it's deserving that it's named after Herschel. And he's been such a great guest on this show. And I know that being your teammate, I know you've got a lot of stories, especially at practice. And he's just a great guy. And I'm glad that they're able to give an award for somebody that decides to go back and get their degree. That's a huge accomplishment, and that's something that just needs to be recognized.
You may be right. 40 years he waited to go back. He didn't wait, but he just, of course, again, as most athletes that have an opportunity to play at the next level, life gets in the way. And again, you leave school early to, in the case of football, you have the April draft. And but in Herschel's case, he had the USFL, which came on the scene his junior year and offered him a deal, and got one thing led to another. But long story short, he left school as most professional football players do. They don't fit. They have to go back to school and finish if they do. But sometimes life gets in the way, and one thing leads to another. 1 year becomes 2, 2 becomes 5, 5 becomes 10, and the next thing you know, 40 years later, you look up, and those of you who are obviously very, very fortunate to make a great living doing that, obviously it doesn't matter because, again, you're able to take care of your family, all of your obligations, your kids. So Herschel, on top of all of that, and of course, running for office, had the opportunity to go back to Athens, slow down a little bit, take a step back. And of course, and he told me that was probably one of the most wonderful experiences out of all the things that he's been able to do, to go back to Athens and walk on the campus because, he was a rock star when we were in school, and 1980 to 1982, where he stayed, and of course, his class was class of '83 with me. But what he was able to do at the University of Georgia for the University of Georgia, not just the University of Georgia, but SEC football, he just basically took it to another level. Winning the Heisman, leading Georgia to a national championship our freshman year, and of course, the rest is history.
Yeah, and it was a great college career. Being 3-time SEC champions, and just the run that you guys had from 1980 to 1982, 83 year is just been incredible. And you guys were a big part of that. I know that was a special moment for both of you. And he is the most decorated college football player, in my opinion, as well. I agree. Herschel is just when you think of college football and you think of the state of Georgia, you think of Herschel Walker. He's up there with the greats.
Absolutely. And you made me think back. He's like, boy, out of all the great opportunities that I've had being a part of that championship run, and of course that era in Georgia football history, being with Herschel and what, the stories, obviously you said something about practice. I just immediately go to being able to go to New York City with he and his family when he won the Heisman Trophy in 1982. That was the experience. Again, if you say, DJ, you won a national championship, you won 3 SEC championship teams, you played with some other great players to include Scott Warner and Lindsey Scott and of course Herschel Walker and a whole lot of other ones. But yeah, that experience, if I had to pull back as far as the one experience that I had to take away, being able to go to New York City for a week and a half, 2 weeks, I don't know what it was, but Herschel, to think that he would select me to go with his family, that first of all gave me an understanding of how much he loved me. He cared about me as a friend because myself, Chris McCarthy, his fullback, so he got to take 2 players and of course his family, and being in New York City for the very first time, and especially, and it's nothing like having that royal treatment of an organization as esteemed as the Heisman Trophy, to be able to be your host in the city. It's one thing to go to New York City and, walk up and down the streets and maybe get in a taxi cab or get on the train or whatever but to have limousine treatment, 5-star hotels and all the things when I'm a 19-20-year-old kid from Buena Vista Estates in Columbus, Georgia, that was high cotton.
Yeah, that had to have been just an incredible moment. I'm glad that Herschel was able to think of you and select you as one of his teammates to go to New York. And I tell you, that must have been just a great time, not only to be a Georgia Bulldog football fan, but also just Georgia athletics. I mean, you guys you did mention that you were in the dorm with Dominique Wilkins and all the Georgia athletes, right? Yeah,
Mel Latney, Olympic sprinter, Lane Campbell, Richard Campbell's from right here in Columbus, Georgia. These guys were outstanding. Of course, Dominique Wilkins and Gwen Torrance, an Olympic great. They weren't in, but they were during that same era. Teresa Edwards, all of us were on campus together, and it was just a lot of great players. And again, what a time to talk about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if you're a Georgia fan, that it couldn't get any better than that. The basketball team makes it to the Final Four in 1983, and the women's basketball team was doing great as well. And I tell you, it was a great time to be a Georgia Bulldog.
Absolutely. And again, we'll have an opportunity to unpack all of that. Let's go ahead and take our first break of the day. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2. Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
I see guys and girls dancing. I see guys and girls dancing.
Now as the record spins around, you recognize this sound. Well, it's the underground. You know that we're down.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for making us your home for local, regional, national sports talk in the Chattahoochee Valley. This is Sportsvisions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. 35-year-old Timothy Massengill of LaGrange and Angela Dinkins of Columbus are in Hancock County Jail this morning. The two are believed to have been using a drone to smuggle contraband into the Hancock State Prison. A search of their vehicle resulted in over 11 pounds of marijuana and $1,000 cash. Meanwhile, 58-year-old Charles Monfrey Sr. is behind bars this morning. Monfrey is charged with child molestation, sexual exploitation of a child, and sexual battery. Both the Muskogee and Harris County Sheriff's offices investigated Monfrey and are expecting more criminal charges to be added. Lastly, in Marion County, 45-year-old Amanda Jackson faces charges of malice and felony murder, among others, in connection to the fatal shooting of 58-year-old Philip Jackson on January 31st. He later died on February 7th. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Thursday morning. We are waking up to clear skies across the region with those temperatures in the 40s. We're going to be tracking plenty of sun in today's forecast with those high temperatures reaching the upper 60s later today. Tonight, clear and pleasant, lows falling into the low 40s. We're talking about another pleasant day for Friday as we close out the week with plenty of sun. Come the weekend, clouds build for your Saturday, and showers and storms likely on Sunday.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. 800-890-7021. That's 800-890-7021.
This hour brought to you in part by Gill's Auto Sales, now celebrating their 40th anniversary.
Think switching to T-Mobile's a whole complicated thing? Nah, it's easy. You can do it almost anywhere in just 15 minutes.
Even poolside like Drewski, you can switch to T-Mobile and unlock savings that are built to last. With T-Mobile's Better Value Plan, you can save over $1,000 a year versus Verizon and AT&T. Save on streaming, satellite, and more benefits that they leave out.
Now I get all the VIP perks.
Start saving from day one, and for a limited time, get T-Mobile's Better Value Plan.
I know you love deals.
Plus, switch right now, and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800. What do you think of all that, Drewski?
Stay chilling, just switch. It's better over here.
Check the math at T-Mobile.com/better value. Savings versus comparable plans at AT&T and Verizon, plus the cost of optional benefits. Plan features and taxes and fees vary. With 3+ lines of Better Value Plan, 3+ new lines and 2 eligible ports, or 3+ lines and 5+ years on T-Mobile postpaid plan required. Qualifying credit required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Get up to $800 per line via virtual prepaid card. Typically takes 15 days after rebate submission. Qualifying unlocked device credit service ported 90+ days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. No cash access and card expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC.
At the YMCA, finding your why starts by making an impact together, touching lives for the better. It can be the gift of time or treasure, supporting a community through talent without measure. Here, compassion fuels commitment, finding fulfillment through enrichment, serving and improving. What a way to live, and what a gift it is to give. Find your why and to get involved today at ymca.org for a better us.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. VA sends a weekly email to over 13 million veterans that's jam-packed with amazing resources. Subscribe for free at va.gov/vet resources.
Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show, 3 to 7 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's 3-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion, DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. It's Throwback Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. And Richard, obviously, I'm going to throw you back. I got to throw you back. Well, we got to throw back. Go back into your history, as I like to do, and talk about, you played Little League Baseball, right?
Yes, I did.
It is baseball season. Can you remember the very first opportunity that you had to play for an organized Little League Baseball team in the hood?
So I played Little League Baseball for Milpitas South, 1989, played on the farm team. It was called the Cincinnati Reds. Now, the farm team is just a step above T-ball. And in the first half of the season, the coaches pitch to the players. And then the second half of the season, they are crazy enough to let the players pitch. And those are some wild games, I'm telling you. I'll tell you that to the development of pitchers at a young age, I knew how difficult it was to get the ball over the plate and to actually throw strikes. And so I played Little League Baseball for 7 years. I played all the way up until age 15. Tried out for the high school baseball team. You know, I did go to a 7A school where 200 kids show up at the tryouts.
Oh, my goodness.
So, if I grew up in a small town, I probably would have been able to play sports. But unfortunately, I went to a big school, one of the largest schools in the San Francisco Bay Area. So, it just didn't work out for me, but still love baseball to this day. And still, actually 12, 15 years ago, I was playing church league softball. So every now and then I get that itch to go out and and at least play softball as a 46-year-old man, but still love baseball to this day.
What was your position?
Oh, I played center field. I played shortstop, pitcher, catcher.
My goodness.
First base. My favorite position was either center field or left field, because I love just once the ball hits the crack of the bat, I love positioning myself where I'm chasing down a fly ball.
And you had a lot of speed too, right?
I did. I had speed out in that outfield. Now, playing shortstop actually is the hot corner and stuff. I wasn't great at ground balls, but I was better at catching fly balls. So, I still can throw it to first base, and I didn't like third base because I didn't like having to throw all the way to first base. And second base, well, I was kind of tall to play second base. That's why I played first base too.
Having speed in the outfield is one thing, but you got to have great anticipation. And again, that's another thing, getting a jump on the ball. It's kind of like running bases. You can be fast, but if you're not quick or if you don't have anticipation, you'll be out more than you will be safe.
Yeah, and I wish that I could get on here and say, well, you didn't mention right field. Look, I'm not trying to knock right field. I played right field too. There was a time I was the younger kid on a team where I played right field and I batted ninth because the team was stacked and they had nowhere to put me. It's either that or playing the bench. And sometimes we had to ride the bench for 3 innings. Like sometimes the manager or the coach had to play everybody on the team. And so I'd be sitting there, we getting ready for our Little League game. And I'm counting all the players. And I'm like, please let there be exactly 9 so I'm not riding the bench.
A lot has been said. And again, I talked about the Sally League a lot, and that's where I started Little League. You say you started at what age?
I started at age 9. I kind of was a late bloomer. I know that people can play T-ball at like age 6, but yeah, I was 9 years old when I was playing.
I think I started about 8 years old, but I started at the YMCA on Brookhaven Boulevard downtown. There was a league there. Of course, Dale Williams, my buddy, obviously, he was a little older. I mean, I played with the Astros.
Oh,
and
nice.
I'll tell you what, we had the wool uniforms, and they come about knee high with the elastic around the knee, and of course the elastic in the sock. That was the thing. Cutting socks and adding the elastic to them, and those of us that they had the opportunity to do that. But yeah, I was terrible. In my first few years because again, I was 8, 9 years old playing with guys that were 11 and 12. So I was a little bit in over my skis. However, I tell you, as I always say, playing up as I did in football and baseball. When I got time to play got to the Sally League and playing with the, as an 11 and 12-year-olds, I was so much more developed. I could hit the deep ball. I could hit a curve ball when running out of the batter's box, as most kids, weren't comfortable, locking in or staying in the batter's box to hit breaking pitches. And it was just a tremendous, opportunity, man. We had some great teams in the Sally Little League. Our Little League team, our Sally Little League was back behind what used to be Columbus Square Mall, which is now the government's building on Macon Road and also the library. But absolutely where Rigdon Road High School or Rigdon Road Elementary School is. That was pretty much the start of down in that whole little area back there off of Lindsay Creek. That was our Sally League ballparks before they moved off to Belvedere and everywhere else that they've been. But those were some great times because I had some great teams and some other great competitors. Greg Mathis, as you know, the head coach at Brookstone, he had a wicked curveball, and he was a damn good athlete as well.
And I do want to say this. We are about a month away from opening day for all these Little League teams: Sally, Pioneer, Peach, Northern, American, Harris County. I tell you, District 8 is stacked.
Yes.
It seems like every year they have got a representative that wins state.
Yeah.
Remember they had that run where they were the state winners. He was either Harris County, Northern, that they would actually make that run and almost make it to the Little League World Series. But obviously the Northern team won the Little League World Series in 2006 and went to the Little League World Series in 2010. So they've had a great run, and I appreciate District 8 Little League baseball.
And it's nothing like seeing a ballpark full of kids. I had a Home Depot run the other day, and of course behind there is that Northern? I think it's Northern Little League Fields behind Home Depot up by the airport. Anyway,
that's Pioneer.
That's Pioneer.
Yeah,
I saw the kids and the coaches out there, man. I tell you, you know what? It makes you think. It makes you think about it. And hey, hats off to all of the Little League coaches and all the volunteers out there that help with the kids because I know I remembered, my coaches back in Little League, they worked all day. And then, of course, they got off work, and then they came and practiced with us all afternoon. And they did that, for the love of the game. They didn't make a salary. They just enjoyed serving and mentoring us. And so shout out to all the Little League coaches all over the community.
I tell you, I'm really getting excited for that District 8 tournament in June. I'll tell you, like, it's great that we have great Little League organizations here in Columbus. And I cannot forget Phoenix City. Also, they've had their run as well.
Yes.
Phoenix City Little League over across the river. Got to give them a shout out as well.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, we'll have an opportunity to talk to a former professional baseball player that actually grew up right here in Columbus, Georgia. We'll talk about his Little League experience because, again, man, it turned into a nice opportunity for him as, of course, he was later able to become a Los Angeles Dodger and spend a lot of years showing young men the art of hitting a baseball as a hitting instructor in minor league baseball. His name, you know him, Richard.
Yeah, it's Garey Ingram.
That's right. He'll be up with us and talk. Come close. Make sure you tell a friend, text a friend. We're going to take a break. Make sure you get on the phone and tell everybody that Garey Ingram is going to come on and talk about his Little League experience and take us all the way up through, of course, what's going to happen here this spring. And again, the wonderful things that are happening with the Clingstones and the minor league baseball. Man, this guy is an insider to the 10th degree.
Yeah, you're going to get it here straight, no chasing.
All right, don't go anywhere. You are watching Facebook Live, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sportsvisions 92.1.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you have a copy of your DD-214? A DD-214 is a DoD certificate of retirement, separation, or discharge from active duty. It verifies your eligibility for benefits and services. The fastest way to request a copy is through the National Archives and Records Administration at archives.gov. Get the benefits you've earned.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Alabama at highschoolofficials.com.
Older buildings may contain asbestos and lead. Pipe or other insulation, ceiling tiles, exterior siding, roof shingles, and sprayed-on soundproofing may contain asbestos. Disturbing materials containing lead-based paint may release lead dust into the air. If your home contains asbestos or lead-based paint, and any of these materials have been damaged or will be disturbed during cleanup, talk to public health authorities. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show. Let's get back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. It's a Throwback Thursday kind of day, and we appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started. Hey, right now, let's go ahead and bring him up. He is, of course, a Valley Sports Hall of Famer, and he's also a native of Columbus, Georgia. And he's that Major League Baseball player that I was talking about before we went to the break. Played for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Please welcome Garey Ingram. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can you guys hear me pretty good?
Yeah, absolutely. You sound great, man. As a matter of fact, you see that bass is in you, like you sound like Barry White a little bit.
Hey, that's why I got my Aflac coffee in my hand, man. Gotta get
Good.
them bold chords. Speaking to you guys.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, look, man, I know I was just sharing with Richard during the break. You know, out of all the baseball that we have had the opportunity to talk over the years, I can't remember us elaborating on your little league career. And that's what we want to do this morning to start things off, because baseball season is here. The kids are out at the ballparks in the community. Of course, the professionals and the minor leaguers are down in spring training or out at spring training. So where did you grew up here in Columbus, but where did you start playing your first baseball?
Actually, DJ, you taking me back down memory lane. Man, I started off in Rigdon Park over there in Oakland Park.
Yeah.
Under Dan Pate with the Astros. And hey, man, that experience I had down there was unbelievable. And I know we're gonna dig into it a little deeper, but that's the only minor league team I was a part of. Man, we won like 80-something games, and that's where it all started for little old Garey Ingram. Was down at Oakland Park, in Oakland Park, over at Rigdon Park, right on the Chattahoochee River.
So what league was that?
Little League. I was 9 years old when I started down there. And
was it Sally? Was it Eastern? Was it Rick? What was what? I mean, you know, got Peach, you got Pioneer. What you remember?
It was I just know it being Rigdon Park. I didn't even know what division. I don't think it wasn't Sally. It wasn't Northern. It wasn't Peach. It might have just been South Columbus.
South Columbus.
That's the only thing. South Columbus, yeah, in Rigdon Park. I think that's what it was. That's the area.
And of course, some of the teammates that played with you, do you remember them going off to play college, or did they make it to major leagues or minor leagues as you?
Absolutely. I can throw out some names, man. I had Barry Earl. He passed away a few years ago. Rest in peace. Barry Earl was supposedly the talk of the town little leaguer back then. He was the biggest on the field. I remember those gold Tennessee thumper bats that we used to have. I know you probably remember. He was the only little leaguer that really could hit a ball out of a little league park back then. Okay. And Barry was one of those kids that everybody looked up to. We had Elijah Pitts, Philip Martin. Yeah, man. All them guys. We had a really, really good team that was assembled by my coach Dan Pate back then. And a lot of us were just kids that, because back then, Rigdon Park was one of those unknown areas. Okay. And they was known for football more than baseball, but our little league team kind of helped put them on the map a little bit and got people interested. And there's a lot of guys that I played little league with. I ended up playing at Columbus High School with as well. So we all followed the same path coming from Rigdon Park, making it. And I think I'm the only one on that little league team that made it to the major league.
Here, I got to ask you this with regards to being a little leaguer. How did you get over to Columbus High School? If you lived on that end of town, were you recruited by the great Bobby Howard?
Well, you got a cheat sheet over there, DJ? Yes, sir.
The statute of limitations on that, man, is about 5 decades. So you ain't got to worry about nothing.
You're right. So actually, I'm gonna give you a quick ladder. So I go from Little League, go over to East Columbus Babe Ruth, okay, which we all know over there on Marsh Road.
Yes.
Then went from East Columbus Babe Ruth. I actually, back then, I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans. You could live in a different address and go to a different school. Okay?
Oh, so you were cheating.
Hey, what's the statute of limitations has passed?
Yes, it has.
So back then, I actually was supposed to go to Baker High School or Kendrick to play. But my uncle, Ward Henry, played for Coach Howard, and then when Coach Howard went to Columbus, I wanted to kind of follow in the footsteps of my uncle and play for Coach Howard. And fortunately, my grandmother lived over there off of Coolidge Avenue near Brown Avenue, and I was able to stay with her during the week to go to school.
Okay.
And that started my process over at Columbus High. I didn't get recruited. I just wanted to go to that program. And in order for you to be able to play at another school, you had to have a legitimate address that you're living at for the week, for the year. And that was my way to get in the door over at Columbus High School. But nowadays, I think those rules are not lax. They're super strict on the districts. So that's how I ended up on my path over to Columbus High School.
Yeah, Gary, your journey was very fascinating. Obviously, we were talking before the break of District 8 have had a lot of great success with their Little League teams like Northern, Harris County, making deep runs and making it to the Little League World Series. But just talk about the process, being a baseball player in Columbus, possibly going the college route. We do see some high school players get drafted in the major leagues and then going up the minor leagues. What is the best route to actually go play college baseball and have that experience, maybe playing in the College World Series, or a young high school player that gets drafted by a major league team and just goes up the minor leagues?
Well, Richard, a lot of that stuff depends on a family situation. Now, everything is now. When I played, there were 169 rounds for players to get drafted in. And they did draft more high school players a lot of times than D1 players because they felt like the high school players have more time to develop and everything. But times have changed. There are only 20 rounds in the major league draft now.
Yeah.
If I was speaking to a parent right now and you asked what would be the best for a player to go from high school or go get that college experience, I'm gonna say this first. You can get a college degree, get your degree. Okay. If you are good enough as a high school player and you tend to get drafted in one of those high rounds, first thing, they're going to throw a nice sign-on bonus at you, okay? And a lot of times you can always negotiate your schooling into a contract when you sign with a team. And if they are willing to pay 4 years of school after you get through playing the game of baseball and still give you a nice little chunk of money, then that's another avenue that you can go to. But I wouldn't say there's one way you have to do it, but it just tends to seem to me that the game has changed. The way they scout has changed. We're talking about this travel ball industry. That has kind of put a lockdown on if you're not in a certain perfect game database, the scouts and the D1 colleges don't even look at you, which kind of is, I think that's a detriment to kids. I call them diamonds in the rough. That's a detriment to kids that could be playing for a high school team or playing for a travel ball team, but it don't get seen. So with the rounds being switched down to 20, man, it's a tougher playing field right now. And, parents are spending thousands of dollars to get their kids seen and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say there's no one way or the other to look at it. Just if your child, first of all, wants to play the game of baseball, parents, you got to get them involved in baseball. And everybody doesn't make it. So that's why when we came, we played all kind of sports, all the different sports to make us even more athletic. But other than that, man, there's no secret to the recipe. And, it's just limited of the amount of eyes and the amount of opportunities that people are able to get drafted now.
He is Garey Ingram, and Gary, of course, is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions Morning Show. Gary, I have some very important news that you can take to the bank with you. Compliments of our official Sports Vision scorekeeper. His name is Gerald Baygood, and he is, tell you what, he's a treat to have around. But he was able to inform us that the name of your league was the National Little League at Rigdon Park. So if you're ever asked that question again, you got the answers. Thanks to Gerald.
Thanks, Gerald. Hey, man, he's right. It is National Little League. I forgot, man. Hey, we're getting old, man. My memory brains are leaving me. It sure is National Little League. I do remember that now. I appreciate it, sir.
I tell you, man, we got some sharp folks that follow us, man, and support us. And thank God there. Thank you, Gerald. We appreciate that. Now, Gary, the next step that I want to take before we get into the nuts and bolts and the heavy lifting is that Little League baseball equipment. Speak to the parents out there, because the bottom line is that stuff is expensive as heck, man. I mean, you got, like you mentioned, a bat and, the gloves, the spikes. I talked about the elastic and the cutting the socks and all that. I mean, it's the whole uniform, the fees. What do you recommend? I mean, what's your advice to parents out there that want to get their kids involved and just can't afford it?
Well, in Little League, now I know back in the day, everybody hate this word, fundraisers.
Yes.
Man, we used to walk around house door to door selling them peanut log candies, M&Ms, doing car washes on the corner, hot dog sales, whatever it is. To parents out there, it is expensive to play baseball. That's why a lot of parents started leaning towards soccer, because all you need is some shoes, a uniform, and some running. But baseball can get very expensive. Bats today could cost, even for a little leaguer, a bat could cost $300 to $500 to get. And I would recommend to parents, if you got kids that playing on a little league team, the parents can come together and they can figure out some ways to raise monies to help support their kids for the teams.
Fish
We used to
fries,
have
barbecues, all kind of stuff.
Car wash coupons.
There-
Yeah.
Well, y'all taking me back through memory lane. But back then, I used to have a team mom. This lady was on it. I forgot her name. I don't know where she is, but that lady made sure that we did stuff to make sure we had money for it. If we got to go play on these out of town trips, if we needed money for food. So parents gonna have to get together and come up with some kind of fundraisers that they can just have to have money in the bank per se for the kids. And a lot of times back then, when we needed equipment, guess where the money came from? The money that we would get the fundraisers. So I don't know how prevalent fundraisers is now for little league teams, but it's just a thing where the parents got to come together. The coach got to be very communicative with the parent. Tell them what the kids need. And I'm gonna say this to parents: you don't have to go get the most expensive equipment. They do have discounted equipment that will work. These kids are 9 years old. They don't care if they swinging a darn broomstick as long as they're out there on the field. But parents don't. You don't need to spend all that money. Just get them some serviceable equipment, some serviceable shoes, and a glove, and they'll be fine.
Garrett, we are finally at 70 degrees weather after having a couple weeks of lower 30s, which I hate playing baseball in the cold. I know a lot of baseball players definitely don't like playing baseball in the cold. But you, as a former player, obviously you've played in Colorado in April. You know, talk about like a Major League Baseball player having to play in the cold. You always see on TV, you know, these like shortstops, they got like their gator on. You can't even see their ears. I mean, they're all bundled up. But what was your takeaway on the cold? And did you like playing in the cold?
Man, no. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. I'm not gonna even sugarcoat it. Man, this is the one thing that players hate. They look at that schedule and they see if they playing these teams up north first in April or March. Those are the facilities in the Major League organization that warm up later. Okay. So if you could start off playing in Florida, in Arizona against a team, and wherever, it helps you ease your way into it. But yeah, no baseball player likes to play in the cold. One reason for a hitter, man, if you get jammed or hit the ball up in or the bat in the cold, your hand could be stinging for about 30 minutes, and that's not what you want. Of course, they got the best warming stuff that they can use. They had those pocket warmers in their hands and in the whatever. But hey, man, baseball is not a winter sport. That's why they got the Winter Olympics on TV right now. If you want to watch some winter stuff, watch that. But as far as baseball players, we hate playing in the cold. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm gonna tell you who it affects the most. The Latin players get affected the most because remember, when they come in their countries, they rarely get below 65 degrees. So them guys, when it could be 50 degrees and they think it's 30 when they're playing over here. So yeah, no player likes to play in the cold. And like we said, man, baseball is in the air now. Football has had its little heyday. The CVHOF. I know DJ happy that they won, but it's baseball time, man. And if you could start off in a warm climate area, that's all for the better for you. Start off real hot, but usually after about a month, that's when everybody get acclimated to the weather and kick it in.
Gary, one other small note that I'd like for you to pass along to the parents out there. Obviously, you are very involved in hitting instructions and as a hitting coach, and the fees that they pay out there some of them are astronomical. We talked about the prices of equipment, but you take great pride. You're a former Major League Baseball player, and you have some of the cheapest prices in the business. Talk to us about not only your prices, but why they are, or how those parents can avoid all of those crazy additional prices for getting hitting instructions for their kids.
Yeah, I've been doing private hitting lessons for a while, and now this is me talking for myself.
Yes,
I understand that a lot of parents can't afford some of the prices that a lot of people charge for instruction, one-on-one instruction. I'm pretty cheap, and I'll tell you what I charge. I charge $45 an hour, which is low compared to the standards what everybody telling me. But see, I'm not doing that for the money. I'm doing it for the kid. Okay, and I want to make it affordable for parents that can't go pay. I've heard there are people charging in excess of $120 to $125 an hour for a hitting lesson.
Wow.
To me, that's absurd to me, because if I'm paying you $125, my kid better be tearing that ball all over the field when the season starts. But hitting is an art, and hitting is a process. And listen, I'm gonna tell parents out there this is just my motto. Before you pay your hard-earned money on individual private lessons, go and look and see what someone is teaching. A lot of times parents will come to me and say, hey, I need to get over to this place. I need to get over to this place. And they don't really know how they're teaching, what their training process is. Go look and see what it looks like before you pay your money, because a lot of times, if it looks kind of weird or doesn't look right, then you might want to go on find somewhere else. I don't like to talk back down on anybody instructors, but I usually give them like what I call a testing day, where I will get a kid, and it's free of charge. I'll get a kid, let them hit off tee, then I'll go back in with the parent and tell them what I see, what I feel like they can work on, and what kind of plan I can give them. And then I let them make a monetary decision. But yeah, man, there's some lessons and some individual instruction out there that's really high. But at the end of the day, if you see progress in your kid, wherever he is, then you roll with it. But just parent, you don't have to go out and pay that much money. Just try to find somebody that's reasonable and look at their credentials and their backgrounds. Because that's like if I'm getting surgery and I need heart surgery, I'm not gonna go get a knee surgeon to perform heart surgery on me. I'm gonna go get an actual person that specializes in that area. So that's just a little nugget I can get to parents as far as trying to find the right hitting instruction and one-on-one training for their child.
Well, Garey, it's finally here. Pitchers and catchers have already reported. We're going to have spring training games in next week. And then we also got the World Baseball Classic coming up March the 5th. I know I'm going to be either glued to my seat or watching it on the phone. And the United States takes on Brazil on March the 6th. The pool that the United States is in, obviously the top teams are United States and Mexico, but they take on Italy, Great Britain, and Brazil. Those are like minor league baseball players, right? On those countries.
Yeah, and they sprinkle in a few guys that if they have some professional major league experience, they'll be on that team. To me, it's almost like a glorified winter ball league, winter ball team, but you just representing your country. So listen, man, we all know how this game of baseball is. Hey, you can get beat by the worst team in the bracket, and the best team can be knocked out in the first round. So I'm sure that the coaches are going to discuss these topics with their teams and say, hey, and then remember we talked before, you got some major league players on these squads. Number one thing they don't want is them to get injured.
Yeah.
And they got to come perform in the major league season. So it's a delicate situation. But like I said on our last show, it's for the people, it's for the world to see. And them players, they gonna play every game like it's their last game because they trying to prove something for their country. So yeah, it's excitement, man. I'm ready to see them get to it too, and I hope none of those got no injuries occurring and they can have fun and represent their countries.
Well, Garey, I want to talk a little bit about a guy who has been kind of gimpy for the last year, a little over a year, and again, he's one of the superstars, or is the superstar for the Atlanta Braves, Ronald Acuna Jr. Now, he's declared himself healthy. He says, they said he's hitting balls over the scoreboard down there at North Point now. And, of course, he played winter ball in Venezuela this past winter. And he's getting ready to also go down to participate in the World Baseball Classic. Do you think that, obviously, you can let him go? You can take the reins off of him and let him go 100%?
Man, that's a delicate slope right there. I'm sure Anthopoulos and the brass already had this discussion before they said, yeah, we're going to let him play for his country. as we all know, Acuna has been building up a little bit of injury history, and they do not want to lose this kid for no games this season. Okay, like I said, if you go out on a field and you try to not play hurt, like try to play to not get hurt, that's when you start injuring yourself. You just got to go play it and let everything fall in place. But it's funny you brought that up, DJ. Me and my uncle was talking about this. I personally probably wouldn't want him to play in it and just get ready for the season.
Right.
But then again, we talking about you represent your country. He's taking the load of a lot of people from his country that want to see him perform in that. Now, I'm sure he's not going to go over there and do nothing crazy, doing all kind of over exerted plays, but his people want to see him in that uniform, and they deserve every right to see him. But I just hope Acuna just be smart about it, doesn't do nothing crazy, and just play the game, have fun, and get ready for his season. But he is a very vital, important part. And plus, remember that his contract coming close to an end. I don't know how many more years he got left. Richard knows all those answers, but yeah, the Braves need him in that lineup.
Gary, I got to be honest. I'm a baseball nerd. I like getting the latest 2026 baseball preview magazine, and I like pulling out who are the top prospects coming up in the organization. I got some of the prospects for the Braves. Hopefully, we might even see him in a Cleanstones uniform. Diego Torres. We got Cam Caminetti. Right now, he's in single A. We expect him at Columbus soon. Tate Suzlines, he's a shortstop, and then Jose Perdomo. Is there like a prospect right now that you think that is going to make the opening day roster, have an impact, possibly win Rookie of the Year like Drake Baldwin did last year?
I'll give you a little insight on the prospect stuff. Like you said, the kid that's an A-ball, he'll probably be he'll probably be moving up with the Cleanstone soon. A prospect is what it is. They are a prospect and they're waiting for them. Their play is going to dictate how fast they move. And also injuries could play a part on the major league squad that allow prospects to move. A lot of times you can't say, hey, this guy is definitely going to be a major league player. All scouts' job to do is to project on a player. And what I mean by projecting, they're trying to find out how high their ceiling is and how fast they can move to get to that ceiling. So with the Braves, if you look at that lineup in Atlanta, it ain't too much room for somebody to just come and squeeze in, right? Prospect or no prospect. So it has to be some type of availability for a prospect to get up there. Now, a lot of things can occur if a team is just not playing well at the halfway point and they know they're out of it, then teams will bring up some of their prospects to get them their cup of coffee, to get their feet wet and things of that nature. But speaking of the Braves, man, the Braves have always been good at their farm system and raising their players to get up. And if they got those kind of prospects coming, you got to remember, by the time it's ready for them to get to the major league, some of the guys that's already up there, their contracts could be coming to the end, and they could possibly leave as a free agent or get traded or whatsoever. So that's just a slippery, touchy slope to where prospects are what they are, prospects, and they still got to go out there and perform at whatever level, A-ball, AA, AAA, to get the eyes of those major league executives so they can get a shot.
Also, I want to get your take on Spencer Swallenbach. I mean, he is injured right now, went on the 60-day injury list, man. I know that was nothing that they were looking forward to, but right out of the gate, man, we got a big injury.
Hey, man, like I said, injuries can happen at any time, DJ and Rich, and I'm sure you hate for that to happen, especially when the season get ready to start, when you got everything laid in place on what you're trying to do, how you're trying to do it. But injuries are injuries. It happens in every sport, such as like last time when they lost Strider, that was a big blow for the Braves. And they had to figure out who was going to step in. That is why I tell players all the time, always be ready to go, whether you're in A-ball, AAA, whatever, because when an injury pops up, that major league club has to make some really quick decisions on who they want to come up to replace that kid. And a lot of times, injuries to give another person an opportunity to shine. Not saying that the kid got injured for a reason, but it's just unfortunate that he got injured, and hopefully he can bounce back with his rehab and things of that nature. And that's just part of the game, DJ.
Absolutely, man. I tell you, let me do this. I want to publicly thank you for your contribution and donation, of course, for our retractable banners for Sportsvisions 92.1, man. Over the moon. You didn't have to do that, man. But you know what? I appreciate you so much. What you do as a contributor for baseball knowledge to the Sportsvisions nation, that's big enough. But to contribute retractable banners for us to go out and promote and make sure that we can keep this station on the air and up and running, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
DJ and Rich Thrift. Hey, man, I try to do whatever I can to help fellow athletes, fellow people that's out here. You guys are on the grind every morning. Hey, 6 a.m. I know y'all probably there at 4 a.m. while I'm still sleeping. And look, that's just one way for me to show my appreciation to you guys. And me being in recruitment in the healthcare system now, we have to have that stuff to make eyes get on us. So I hope that the people really enjoy your banners that I was able to donate to you to put you on the map even more. And let me know when you go to some of these events. I would love to come out and get a picture with the two great Richard and DJ Jones in front of them banners.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, buddy. Hey, have a great rest of your morning, okay?
Yes, sir. Y'all be good.
Take care.
Thanks, Gary.
That's the great Garey Ingram, ladies and gentlemen. He is, of course, he's a man. I tell you what, I didn't see that coming, you know. And again, you know, we got that. But what's behind me now is step and repeat. All of these promotional items, you know, it takes, as my friend Calvin Smyrie says, it takes coal to run a train, and it takes gold to run a campaign.
There you go.
And of course, that young man, of course, donating those, those retractable banners, man, just over the moon. They're not cheap either.
No, I know. we appreciate Gary and just his just efforts, just helping promote Sportsvisions.
I tell you. Hey, coming up in a little bit, don't go anywhere. We have a pickleball national champion in our presence. He's going into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. We're going to learn all about not only that pickleball championship, but all of the great things that Mark Levy has done. And he's going into the Hall of Fame. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're watching WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
You are listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Human trafficking happens everywhere, sadly, but often happens on our nation's roadways. By being aware and knowing the signs of human trafficking, you could make a difference and help stop this crime. Georgia DOT is doing our part to end human trafficking. Please report any suspicious activity to the Georgia Human Trafficking Hotline at 866-363-4842. For information on the warning signs of human trafficking, visit doas.ga.gov.
Sponsored by the Georgia DOT.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I left the pizza box on top of my car before driving home. Not smart. Oh, and a semi just turned my deep dish into a thin crust.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I have a friend, about 50, had a bad accident and couldn't go back to work. If you're between the ages of 49 and 63 and can't go back to your job because of a physical or mental disability, Social Security could pay you as much as $3,800 a month. If you or a family member is unable to work because of a disability, call the Social Security Disability Helpline. Our team will give you a free case review and explain to you how much money you're entitled to. And you won't pay anything unless we get you benefits. See if you or a family member is entitled to close to $45,000 a year in Social Security disability funds. Remember, this is not something for people over the age of 65. If you're under 65 and can't work, call now.
800-413-7642. 800-413-7642. That's 800-413-7642.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the AHSAA, are the 138,000 high school sports students in Alabama. And so we stand, We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
While serving in Afghanistan, I was shot in the head by sniper fire. The fighting was so intense, the medevac chopper was barely able to land. I was given a 5% chance to live. I'm Adam Alexander, and I'm a veteran. Today, I visit classrooms and talk with kids about dealing with life's struggles. I tell them, with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
I know that some struggles are big and some are small, but they're all struggles, and you have to learn to get through them. With support from DAV, more veterans like me can live their best life. And as a new father, I have one more reason to keep on keeping on. My victory is being there for the next generation.
Adam Alexander, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. Your home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Richard Holdridge in the building. It's a Throwback Thursday kind of day. It's a great day for a great day. And, of course, thank you for allowing us to help you get your day started. Big shout out to my good friend, of course, and former Major League Baseball player, Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer himself, Garey Ingram. I tell you, Gary always brings some excellent wisdom. And again, in the case of Little League Baseball, kicking off right now, man, that was some valuable information.
Absolutely. For somebody who is a Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer, grew up in Columbus, played baseball in Little League, Columbus, went on to play for the Dodgers. We can't think of a better guest just to have that insight of all levels of baseball, because it's baseball season. And we got Little League teams that are going to be having their opening day. I'm sure they're practicing already. They're going to have their opening day coming up in about a month. So great that we were able to have Garey on.
Great indeed. Now, of course, our next guest, it doesn't get any easier, man, because this guy is incredible. I mean, what he's been able to do past beyond the age of 50 is most folks hadn't done before they're at the age of 30 years old. Please put your hands together and welcome my good friend, Mark Levy. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Absolutely. You sound fine. You look great, man. But listen, you were a little league all-star. You were a Babe Ruth all-star. And again, from that time to now, you have done things that people only imagine that they can do. Because first of all, when you're getting a little longer in the tooth like I am, you can't move around like we once did. But for whatever reason, you found this secret sauce to keep it going, and you are still competing to this day.
That's exactly right. I just believe that, you keep doing it if you're able to do it, and you can do it without bad pain. Now, we all hurt when we get older and we try to do some of the same things we did when we were younger. But I continue to do it because I love it. And I've always had a big desire to compete, but it started not that way. You just start things. You don't know if you're going to be good. You go out and play something for fun. And the next thing you know, you may be as good as the other people. Then you may realize you're a little better than them or whatever. But just sports have been my life. I wonder sometimes if I didn't play sports, who would I be? Would I be a different person? Would I know you guys? Would I know all the people in Columbus and the Chattahoochee Valley that I associate with and play sports with? Yeah, sports have been my life, and I've just enjoyed it. I can't say enough about being able to get out there and do the things that we like to do.
Well, Mark, I tell you, first, let me just congratulate you on being a member of this year's 2026 Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame class, man. I know that you're excited. The ceremony is coming up. And as we go back down memory lane to share all of those wonderful opportunities that you've had to show and to of course, do the things that you've loved in the world of sports. You're the pride and joy of Columbus High School. And, of course, Garey Ingram, I don't know if you know Garey or not, but I'll tell you, man, we've had some tremendous folks on from Columbus High School over the years with regards to their athletic careers. And obviously it was no different with you. And that's where, of course, you went to high school and it was a track participant as well as many other things. But I'll do this because I know that nobody can do it better than you. Why don't I let you go back down memory lane for us, and whatever you think that's necessary to share with our Sports Visions listening audience, you start from the high school ranks and go right down the track as far as those accolades as you earned them.
Well, Gary, thank you. You know, it's almost embarrassing for a little guy like me. I'm 5'4". Today I weigh 145 pounds. Back when I graduated high school, I think I weighed about 105 pounds. You know, I started out in my yard. My father told me when I was a young man, when I was like 8, 9 years old, a kid, he told me that, said, Mark, you're never going to be a real big guy. Mom is short. But I'm going to teach you how to play baseball. And he said, I'm going to teach you how to catch a fly ball. He said, if you can catch a fly ball, somebody's going to put you on a team. And he hit hundreds of balls to me every weekend. And I was catching balls like Willie Mays over my shoulder and running, diving for balls. It was just so natural for me. And I was a sick kid. I had asthma, so I wasn't able to play Little League until I was 10 years old. And I went. They told me not to, but I did it anyway. All my friends were playing. It was embarrassing for me not to be able to play. I was very tiny. But as soon as they had tryouts, I was catching balls and everybody was getting hit in the knees and the face and dropping balls, and I was catching them. And next thing you know, I'm drafted and played Little League and enjoyed it thoroughly. My first sport other than baseball was bowling, actually. I used to ride my bicycle. I lived in Lindsay Creek, which is a neighborhood off of Rigdon Road when it was first developed. And I rode my bicycle up to the Bowl-O-Rama and started watching people bowl. Didn't have any money, but I thought it would be fun to bowl. So I scraped up a few coins, and the next thing you know, I started bowling and ended up, after about a year, I was averaging about 180, 185 a game. And I even was asked to bowl in a men's league. So I bowled with men when I was 15 and 16 years old. I was fortunate enough to have a lucky streak one night in the bowling league. R.C. Cola was giving away $1,000 for the first perfect game in Columbus, Georgia at Bowl-O-Rama. And so I got hot one night, and about first 5 frames I struck. And then every time I got up to bowl, everybody in the whole bowling alley stopped to watch. And the next thing I know, I'm hit 7 strikes, 8 strikes, 9 strikes. And I went into the 10th frame and I had to bowl 3 more strikes. I was so nervous, I couldn't hardly move. The whole place was watching me. And I did get the first one, so I bowled 10 strikes in a row, and then I missed on the next one. I was so nervous, I was thinking about that $1,000. And so, I mean, I'd have felt like a multi-millionaire at that age. I was at 17 at that time. And so I ended up with I think it was a 284, and I would win the trophies for the league's high game, high series. And it was just something that I really enjoyed doing. And then, of course, in high school, I didn't play baseball. I didn't play any football, of course. And I need to go back. I did play Pop Warner football one year, and I was terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. Too small, got hit ran a kickoff in practice one time back and got knocked from the 30-yard line back to the 20, maybe the 15, and that was it for me as far as an offensive player. But anyway, in high school, I was a long jumper, and I enjoyed doing that. I didn't know I was going to be able to even jump as far as I did. I just entered something and it was tested in physical education and ended up with a real long jump. And the coach said, "You need to get on the track team. You're wasting your talents here." So
well,
that was.
You know what? Mark, let me stop you right there, because I know that we're going to have more time to get involved as far as your career, but the influences, because again, somebody had to help you inspire you, and I'm talking about a coach of some sort or some whatever leader that was, because again, it was just incredible for you to have all of that going on so early, and again, for the emotional support, the mentorship. Who are the people in your life that helped you accomplish these things?
You're talking about at that young age?
Yes, sir.
Yes, as a kid. Well, baseball coaches in Sally Little League is where I played. I had a very nice coach named Mr. Claiborne, and he was real strict, but he taught you the game. In high school, I was mentored by Richard Finley was his name. He was a football coach, but as far as track, he didn't know a lot about it, but he was always helping me there. Sam Mitchell, who ended up having a great career at Columbus High and then went on at Georgia. He helped me a lot with different sports that I played and tried. But I have an uncle that was a good
Oh,
athlete. He was our juvenile judge for many years, Judge Aaron Cohn. That's my mother's brother. And he used to always tell me, and I wasn't doing it at the time, said, "Mark, you're a good little athlete, but you should be playing tennis instead of these big boy sports that you play." He said, "You do good." And I said, "No, that's a sissy sport. I don't think I'm going to do that." And so being small, I was always handicapped as far as some of the sports that I loved, though I loved basketball. I loved football, baseball. So my parents, my father was always pushed me and encouraged me and said, "You can do it," and he worked with me. So I would say between Judge Cohn, my dad, and a couple of coaches along the way at that age, really helped me, DJ.
He is Mark Levy, and he's going into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. Mark, tennis, pickleball, the fastest growing sport right now, pickleball. I mean, what's the correlation? Because you're winning national championships now, and you're over 70 years old. But the bottom line is you had a foundation with tennis. Talk to me a little bit about, the differences, because, again, that's the fastest growing sport in America right now.
That's a great question that you've asked, because I have so many people that play tennis come up to me and say, "Is pickleball going to ruin my tennis game?" And there's a lot of people, they call pickleball, the tennis players call pickleball the dark side. We don't want to go over to the dark side. I hear that all the time in pickleball. They think that it's easier, and they don't respect the game, some of the tennis players. But the tennis players that have tried pickleball are absolutely loving it. We see Andre Agassi. I was at a tournament in December of this past December, and Yvonne Lindell, #1 in the world at one time, was at this pickleball tournament, and I watched him play on the sidelines. My daughter in Atlanta was playing on a court over there in Atlanta, and Cam Newton was playing pickleball on the court next to her. Tennis was my first sport as an adult, other than softball, that I fell in love with. I didn't touch a racket till age 27.
Wow.
And I never did. I mean, my uncle, who was a University of Georgia letterman, captain of the tennis team, Judge Cohn, he kept telling me, "Play tennis, Mark. My son Leslie plays tennis. You got to play tennis. You'll be good. You're so fast." But, I never did until 27. So when I started playing tennis, you learn strokes. I watched people watch TV. I was a Bjorn Borg fan. I have a picture with Bjorn Borg that I took one time. But the game is somewhat similar, and this is going back to the question that you asked. People that play tennis can, because of the tennis strokes that you have, the ground strokes, and more important than the ground strokes that you hit from the baseline in tennis is the net game. You volley the ball in front of you each way, and when you go play pickleball, you always got to go up close to the net, and that's where you win the game the most, is by the volleys. And so you're up there and you're 7 feet from the net. You can't get any closer by hitting a ball in the air, 7 feet on each side. So you're 14 feet away from each other, and they're blasting at you. And these balls, they are like wiffle balls, what we used to call wiffle balls, and we used to throw curve balls and knuckle balls with them and as kids, and they would jump around. These balls have holes in them, and they come fast, and they're hard. I mean, not gonna hurt you if you get hit. You're not gonna break anything. But pickleball is you see the court. If you were a tennis player, you know where to hit the ball to try to find a person's weakness. In pickleball, if you can hit a ball at someone's feet, that means they've got to pop it up. When they pop it up, you smack it as hard as you can. You could go at them, or you don't want to hurt anybody, so you aim at the feet or to their left or to their right. But the correlation of the two games is very similar. I don't know any tennis players that have converted to pickleball that aren't good, you know. And when you play this game, you would like to play a match just like in tennis. People, you're equal, and it makes a great competition and a great competitive game.
Mark, my mom plays pickleball, and when I see her out there with all the other pickleball players, and then some of my closest friends like Cody Phillips, who was an integral part in helping get the facilities here. I know you know Cody very well. He is a big advocate of this. I want you to explain for people like myself or anyone else that says, hey, I want to go play pickleball tomorrow, but what if I can't afford it? And I feel like it's one of the more affordable sports to get out the house and do things. So how much does a racket cost? How much does a ball cost? How much it costs to be involved and a part, to be able to go to the court? Put that to the listening audience, because I don't think they understand it's really not that expensive.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And by the way, I met Cody years ago playing at the rec center ping pong. He's actually a real good
ping pong player too.
I play ping pong, and if you're not very good and I play you, I'm gonna play you with the other hand. And pickleball is so similar. But Cody is a good little old player, and I've seen him play pickleball too. To answer your question, pickleball is a very, very cheap game to play. You can go buy a paddle at Dick's Sporting Goods, Walmart, anywhere now. It's gotten so popular, and you don't have to buy a $200 paddle to go out there and enjoy yourself. You can buy one for $39. You can get them on eBay for $10 or $15. You know, sure, the higher level players, they go out and they pay a couple $100 for a paddle. The balls are next to nothing. That's you know, few dollars and you own the pickleball. You got some tennis shoes. You got to be careful about what shoes you wear, just because if they flare out, you could step on your other foot and fall. But so you could go out and, you know, just for a little bit of money, you can start playing pickleball. And what's good about pickleball, and the reason it's gotten so popular, it reminds me of when my kids first started playing soccer. Anybody can kick a ball. Now, they may not kick it in the right direction, but these little kids, you see them at 5 years old, they out there running around, and they'll kick the ball, and they're so happy when they kick it. They might not know where they're kicking it, but they kick it. And in pickleball, you can go out the first day, and you're going to hit the ball, and somebody's gonna hit it back to you. You see people on the beach hitting little paddles with kind of different balls, and it's similar. So yeah, it's an easy game to get into. Columbus is a little overdue for having a pickleball court. There's great facilities in Auburn and Noonan and LaGrange. And Columbus is finally getting with it. I've talked to Glenn, and things are moving along real well.
He is a multi-sport national champion. His name is Mark Levy. He's going into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2026, in just a week or so. We know we have a mutual friend who is, again, and as I think about, all the great sports and all the versatility that you have, Mark, Curtis McGee is, of course, those folks that's Dale McGee's dad, obviously the great coach at Georgia State right now. But Curtis McGee, a lot of people don't realize that. I know he's a fantastic golfer. I'd heard about his tennis game, but you tell me that he is another one of those fine multi-sport athletes.
Oh my gosh. Met Curtis in the maybe 1982, 83 on a tennis court. We were actually playing at CSU with one of their players who was a friend of mine. And I met Curtis, and we just hit it off because both of us loved tennis at the time. And Curtis had a huge desire to win. When you played Curtis McGee, you got 110% on every shot. He he wasn't going to give you anything. And he and I used to battle each other on the courts all the time. We played against each other in a couple tournaments before we ended up playing on the same team together. Curtis invited me to be on his team, and I got a few of my buddies. And Curtis's goal was like my goal. You first start out and you're playing for fun, and it is fun, but then you join a league. And every city has a USTA, United States Tennis Association league, and everybody wants to win their city. And if you win your city, then you go to a state tournament. And if you win the state tournament, you play 9 other states in the Southeastern tournament. And if you were fortunate enough, and it's almost impossible to win that, then you could go to the national tournament and play against. There's 16 regions in the United States, including Hawaii. And that was our goal always. And so Curtis was going after the best players. He was the captain of our team, and for years and years. And we would win the city, of course, and then we'd get to the state, and there's the mighty Atlanta with 70,000 league players. And in Columbus, we built up quarter. We had a couple thousand, maybe 2,200 members. We were going up against Atlanta that put together all-star teams that had 70,000 people. And so we would go up against the best team. And it was so hard to win the state, but we did it a number of times right here in little Columbus, Georgia. We would win the state, and then we'd go and then we'd play some of the best tennis states in the United States. And it was hard to win that. When I played with Curtis, we never was able to get to the nationals together. And then I think Curtis's legs kind of gave out and he went to golf,
Absolutely. Listen, I know that, of course, you are excited about being a member or being inducted into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. But as you sit and think about all of your wonderful accomplishments over the years, over multiple sports and the many, many accolades and championships, have you thought about what you're going to say?
Yes, I've tried to think about it. Again, for somebody like myself to be in there with all of the great athletes that have come out of our area, I'm almost embarrassed about it because I was not the best at anything. There are people that can beat me in pickleball. They may be younger. They're not my age, but they're younger. So I've never been the best at anybody. I won the national championship as a team in tennis, and that was a great accomplishment to go all the way undefeated in the entire United States. But it was at age 68. We were the best 6 players, 65 and over, in the entire United States. It is an honor, and I have thought about it, and I'm not going to give it away right now because there's a couple things in there that I'd like to talk about that, I'll tell you, sports has created, look at what you do with sports. And I have volunteered at our tennis league for 30 years, and I'm the judge. If you have a dispute on the court, it comes to my committee, and we'll solve it. We'll see who's right and wrong, because now in tennis, we see a lot of baseball players, softball players playing tennis, and they fuss at umpires, and they'll do a little cursing and throwing the ball and at each other. And in tennis, you just can't do that. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I could say, and I haven't really narrowed it down completely, but I'm going to be ready when the time comes, I hope.
Well, Mark, we're up against the clock, but I certainly want to celebrate you and, of course, give you your flowers while you're here. But word on the street tells me that even at the age of almost 80 years old, you still can run a 6.5 minute mile.
That's not true. That was true in my 40s and my 50s, but no, I quit running because I wanted to be able to walk when I got older. Yes. So I quit running on a regular basis. Now I still piddle at it, but no, when I was in my 40s, I would run 18, 30 to 19-minute 5K races and around town. As long as Evil Sizer wasn't around, I could win my age most of the time. But I still play tennis. I play pickleball, and I'm working at golf, and that's another bad story. I can hit a ball 100 miles an hour coming to me, but one sitting still right at my feet, it's the hardest thing I've ever tried.
Well, look, before you go, I got to get this out of you because I need this for my own sake. To live the life that you've lived and still remain healthy as old as you are, what is the secret? Is it nutrition? What is it?
Well, a good wife is one thing, because my wife was a critical care nurse, and she forces me to eat good when I don't really want to, but I've never smoked, and I've never been a drinker. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but every day, and I was in the automobile business, I would wake up and I would say, I would hope I can sell a car, and I hope I can do something athletic. And those are the things that I would try to do. And so I've just consistently stayed active. And I would say that has a lot to do with everything. And when I got injured, I worked real hard to get back as soon as I could.
Well, Mark, thank you so much, man. I tell you, you have enlightened us this morning. You've educated us. You've informed us. Hey, congratulations, man, for going into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much, DJ. I appreciate y'all, and thank you. And I hope what was your name again?
Thrift.
Thrift. I'm sorry. Thrift. I just hope that you get out there and play a little pickleball, and then next thing you know, we'll see each other on the court, and be nice to me when you do.
I ain't going to let you embarrass me, Mark. I'll tell you that right now.
No, there's no chance. I wouldn't do that. Thank you so much for having me, and it's a great show. It's a great honor to be on this show. Thank you, DJ.
Hey, man, have a great rest of your morning.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye-bye. All right, that's Mark Levy, the Hall of Famer.
Unbelievable, man.
Hey, man, I tell you what, I hope and pray that I would be able to be as successful and productive as he has been in his older years, man. And he's still going strong.
National champion.
Listen,
I better be able to move around like that when I'm his age. Thank you again, Mark.
Hey, look, coming up in just a little bit, we're going to find out about, of course, Ricky Rogers' podcast with the Clingstones. And again, all of the action is going to be happening down at Synovus Park here coming up in a few weeks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. 35-year-old Timothy Massengill of LaGrange and Angela Dinkins of Columbus are in Hancock County Jail this morning. The two are believed to have been using a drone to smuggle contraband into the Hancock State Prison. A search of their vehicle resulted in over 11 pounds of marijuana and $1,000 cash. Meanwhile, 58-year-old Charles Monfrey Sr. is behind bars this morning. Monfrey is charged with child molestation, sexual exploitation of a child, and sexual battery. Both the Muskogee and Harris County Sheriff's offices investigated Monfrey and are expecting more criminal charges to be added. Lastly, in Marion County, 45-year-old Amanda Jackson faces charges of malice and felony murder, among others, in connection to the fatal shooting of 58-year-old Philip Jackson on January 31st. He later died on February 7th. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Thursday morning. We are waking up to clear skies across the region with those temperatures in the 40s. We're going to be tracking plenty of sun in today's forecast with those high temperatures reaching the upper 60s later today. Tonight, clear and pleasant, lows falling into the low 40s. We're talking about another pleasant day for Friday as we close out the week with plenty of sun. Come the weekend, clouds build for your Saturday, and showers and storms likely on Sunday.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sportsvisions 92.1.
If you're in the market for a pre-owned, like-new vehicle, I've got more trucks than anybody. I've got more SUVs than anybody. And I've got cars as far as the eye can see. Please come see me at Bratton Automotive. Everybody's going to leave with a smile, and I stock them deep and sell them cheap.
I was live streaming makeup tips when my internet went down. My followers were furious. Like, both of them.
Someone damaged the gas line and our service was turned off for safety. Now my chili is ruined. And I'm simmering.
As she was digging into my chocolate delight, someone dug through a water main. No water,
No bath.
no delight.
All because my neighbor didn't contact 811.
Be a good neighbor and contact 811 before digging.
Sponsored by Georgia 811.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Happy 40th anniversary to Gills Auto Sales. This will be a year-long celebration with inventory and deals like you haven't seen in a long time. Every lot in Gills' lineup is stocked with a car, truck, or SUV that you've been dreaming about. Hey, want to save more than ever before on the vehicle of your dreams during the 40th anniversary celebration? You gotta get to Gills.
Here at Boot Barn, our objective is to build the perfect boot. We do take our time ensuring that every step is done correctly. For a boot to last you for a lifetime, you've got to properly build the boots. Hand craftsmanship is, in my opinion, the only way you're going to achieve that. We handcraft our boots. 160 people take a boot from start to finish. We have skilled artisans at every stage of the game. We've been handcrafting boots since the beginning here at Boot Barn, and we'll continue to do so.
My life was going downhill fast. Everybody was on my case. Now, I kept hoping that life would change real soon. I knew drinking too much messed up my life. A friend suggested I check out AA. It worked. I found myself in an AA group. Finally, I've got my act together.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a meeting near you.
Damaging an underground utility can cause a lot more problems than you think. By causing a potentially avoidable damage to underground utilities, there's many scenarios that do not end well. To keep the gas, power, water, and internet running, using 811 to have your underground utilities marked is a critical piece of the damage prevention process, whether you're a homeowner or an excavator. It's free, it's simple, and it's the law. Visit al811.com for more information.
This message is brought to you by the Armed Forces Vacation Club, a free membership travel hub for active duty military and veterans. Discover the world for free at afvclub.com. That's afvclub.com.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer in the building. We appreciate our good friend Richard Holdridge for all that he does for Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Sportsvisions. I tell you, Thrift. Welcome. Good morning, Thrift. How you doing?
I'm doing great, DJ. Man, it has been such a long week. I want to say that for all the listening audience out there, but we love what we do. But, man, I cannot wait for the basketball to be over with. On Tuesday, we have basketball and soccer going. We got baseball going. All these region tournaments lasting till 10, 11 o'clock at night. But I know it's just 1 week. I'm not complaining, and I love every second of it. Just makes for a long week, though, DJ.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Mark Levy. He's going into the Hall of Fame, man. And boy, I tell you, man, yeah, he's my hero. He's my new hero, man. Because again,
national champion.
All of that's pickleball, golf, tennis, softball, running. This guy has done it all, and he still looks excellent, man. And again, what an inspiration.
No doubt.
Going into the Hall of Fame. Hey, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him up. His name is Ricky Rogers. You guys hear us talking about him in the morning, telling us good morning and giving us all those nice words of wisdom. Ricky, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, DJ. How are you?
I'm wonderful, man. I'm wonderful. Hey, man, it's almost that time. I know you're excited. The podcast is about to heat up. And, of course, you are about to, make your way down to Synovus Park with you and the rest of the gang that makes up that Clingstone gang that sits in section 200. And what section is that?
That's 205. The 205 bleacher creatures.
Absolutely, man. Hey, good morning, and thank you for coming on board. Hey, so far, obviously, tell us about the podcast. I know that there's some people that are listening this morning that says, what? The Clingstones, they got a podcast? Well, tell us all about it, Ricky.
So Stonercast is a fan-driven podcast. Myself and my co-host Dave Norris. We just completed season 1, 19 episodes. Those are weekly episodes with a little break around Christmas. Had some really good interviews. Episode 19 was kind of a preview of what we think is to come as far as the roster goes. And we are now planning to launch season 2 live from Synovus Park to do a roster reveal show once the roster information becomes available.
Ricky, it's almost time. I know you said yesterday there were some guys like Lucas Braun and Zimbrowski who are going to be at Braves camp. Who are some other names that you're looking forward to seeing during training camp and spring training games that could potentially be on a Clingstones roster?
Well, the best thing about AA is we're getting to see tomorrow's talent today. With the Schwellenbach injury, I fully expect J.R. Ritchie to make the club, the opening day roster. And J.R. Ritchie pitched here in Columbus for about a month and a half before starting the Futures game and then going straight to Gwinnett based off of a dominant performance. Besides JR, you've got Owen Murphy, who I think will be in Columbus. I'm hoping he's going to make the opening day roster for Columbus. He's a phenomenal pitcher. We've had both of those guys on Stonercast. Some other names to watch, really, as far as whether they'll be in Columbus or whether they'll be with Gwinnett or potentially on the trade block. Ian Mejia. And then Ethan Workinger, I think they've got to figure out what to do with him. His bat is just insane. And but there's a logjam currently in Gwinnett. So we're dealing, he may be back in Columbus, but I could also see him being a prospect that Alex Anthopoulos would package in a trade deal.
Ricky, I know that, you love baseball, you love the Clingstones, you love sports. I know that, and by being a part of the Sportsvisions Nation and the audience in the morning to help you get your day started, can you speak to what it does for you as obviously you are a loyal listener and a participant? It's just as to the folks out there listening, talk to us a little bit about the inspiration that you get from having this show available to you.
There was a void created when Bobby Z left in Columbus, from Columbus several years ago for local sports talk. And when I found out that Sportsvisions was on the air, I started listening immediately. I like to hear the high school coverage. I like to hear even the middle school coverage. Having the middle school coaches on the last 2 days it's been good to hear from those guys, leading into a championship game that's going to be played tonight. It also led me to a new love, and that's producing for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And, besides the boss I have at that company, I really like it. I'm not real fond of the boss. You know, just remember, DJ, good producers are hard to find.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it, indeed. Listen, again, for where did your love for sports come in? And of course, let me do this because we haven't talked to you about your upbringing and your early beginnings.
Yeah.
And so share with everybody out there again, because they're hearing his name quite often now. And, us country folks, we like to know, well, who's your mama name? Where you from? What school you went to? So back us up and reintroduce us to Ricky Rogers.
So I am from a single parent home. My mom raised me, and she did I think, a pretty good job. Busted her butt to make sure my sister and I never really went without. And I know earlier you were talking to Garey Ingram and talking about Little League. I'm a proud product of Eastern Little League. Played baseball with Reggie Abercrombie, who has since gone on. Another name that didn't get drafted, but was a phenomenal baseball player, Brant Copeland, also played there at Eastern. Baseball was really my true love until I got to middle school and decided to strap on some pads. I went to Daniel Middle School and then on to Jordan High School, and fell back in love with, never lost my love for baseball, but fell back in love with baseball to where I follow it daily. Just about 9 years ago when my kids started playing, 10 years ago when my kids started playing and got into high school ball.
Ricky, Jordan listen, there's a ton of Jordan graduates that I don't think people understand around this community that are doing great things. And I know you and the Jordan guys like Rick Beach and Frost, y'all are big advocates of making sure that the word gets out that athletes came through Jordan. I know there may be struggles over the last 10 years in terms of winning. But one thing that they were consistent at was baseball, and Tony Dimitri was there and kind of revitalizing that program. Once his dad retired, he brought it back. And then, of course, we know what he did at Russell County, now Harris County. Talk about your relationship with the late Tony Dimitri, what he meant to you, and why it was such a big deal to do that visual that you did, and people remember what he represented. And when you think Jordan, you think about him and his dad.
So, yes, Tony Dimitri was a very close friend. I was his booster president for my two oldest sons as they came through Jordan baseball. And, the Dimitri name is synonymous with Jordan baseball. Starting back in 71, when Anthony Dimitri Sr. won a state championship there at Jordan, came back after college and was an athletic director and baseball coach, led his team to 4 deep state playoff runs, a couple of region championships, and he also coached his sons, both of his sons, Tony and John, there at Jordan. And, Jordan is you're right, Thrift. There's a ton of alumni in this town. Jordan and Columbus are the ones you hear. You go to Columbus to become a lawyer, you go to Jordan to become a mechanic. And, at Jordan, very, very proud alumni. Yeah, there's been some down years in sports, but I'll tell you what, I'm also the PA announcer for Northside Baseball, and I got to watch Northside play Jordan last night on the diamond. Jordan took Northside, who I think is a really good team, to 8 innings last night. It took a wild pitch for Northside to score the winning run and walk it off, but I was very proud, red jacket, last night to watch Jordan's baseball team go out there and compete with, like I said, what I feel is going to be a really good team this year.
Ricky, as of course, before we let you go, I want you to express to us again, the sentiments of the experience at Synovus Park for the fans that I know that a lot of them that are listening have been, but there is a whole lot of them that haven't been able to experience it just yet. In year 2, obviously, they're having the dry run of year 1. It's going to be even more incredible.
It is. So Synovus Park was, it's still Golden Park to me, and it is the shell of Golden Park with a lot of decoration around it. They did a beautiful job with the remodeling. The atmosphere on those big game nights, those weekend nights where there were 5,000 people there, was just incredible. And then you mix in, a Quintero walk-off grand slam or Quintero grand slam, Ethan Workinger walk-off home run. It just became so much more intense there. And one thing I want Columbus folks to know, the golden rule, use it or lose it. You got to get out and you got to support this team. They are in this thing to make money, and they make money off ticket sales and sponsorships. So if you're not using it and you're not going to games and attending, you can't complain in 10 years at the Clingstone say, hey, we got to make a decision because there's no money. So make sure you guys are getting out. Single game tickets just went on sale just last week, I believe. Schedule has been released. They're gearing up for promos. I want to see people in the stadium on Thursdays or those Tuesday games, those sleepy games, as opposed to just showing up when there's a bobblehead or a cap or beach towel or whatever. So we should all be very proud to have this high level of baseball here in Columbus.
Well, I tell you what, man, before you go, let everybody know how they can get the podcast.
So we're on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Like I said, we've got 19 episodes you can catch up on, some really great interviews with some big names. And we are gearing up for our live roster reveal, which will be announced here in the next week or so. As soon as we get the date finalized, there's kind of some iffiness with when the Braves will actually publish the roster for the Clingstone. So,
well, thank you so much, Ricky. Just continue to spread the news about the Sportsvisions Morning Show as you, of course, go throughout your journey. And thank you, and have a great rest of your morning.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Thrift. DJ, give Thrift a pay cut. He deserves it.
Hey, Ricky, whenever you want to come back to work, you let me know, man.
Hey, brother, I'll be at soccer tonight, Russell County.
See you later, Rick. Thanks,
Take
man.
Care. That's him, Ricky Rogers, man. You love that
it.
guy.
I do.
Great spirit
Listen,
on him, man.
He's the one guy. You know me. I like making fun.
Yep.
I like picking.
Right.
He comes right back at me, and I love every second.
But everybody can't do that, Thrift. You
You're
gotta, and
right.
you got to be able to differentiate that, because some people they get their feelings hurt, man. And you can't do that to everybody.
I learned that the hard way, even though
right.
I just like messing them, though. I want you to mess back with me, but Ricky's a great guy. I'm glad we got to have him on, DJ.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more on the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
You don't have to admit you wanna play. That's me.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Garey's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
February is the month for love, and Garey's Furniture Express wants to show their love for you, their customers, with free local delivery during the month of February on purchases of $1,000 or more. Free local delivery during the month of February. And that's only at Garey's Furniture, and that's why you're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Human trafficking happens everywhere, sadly, but often happens on our nation's roadways. By being aware and knowing the signs of human trafficking, you could make a difference and help stop this crime. Georgia DOT is doing our part to end human trafficking. Please report any suspicious activity to the Georgia Human Trafficking Hotline at 866-363-4842. For information on the warning signs of human trafficking, visit doas.ga.gov.
Sponsored by the Georgia DOT.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-215-7996. 800-215-7996. 800-215-7996. That's 800-215-7996.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Catch the Paul Feinbaum Show, 3 to 7 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Here's 3-time Georgia Bulldog SEC champion and 1980 national champion, DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
It's not that I don't want you here.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. It's a Throwback Thursday. It's a great day for a great day, Thrift. And I tell you, man, it's exciting to have an opportunity to, you're at a crossroad right now where you got baseball, basketball, soccer. I mean, this is true. This is the epitome of obviously of broadcasting and, of course, doing it on the streaming service.
Yeah. So literally today we have the region tournament championships at Calvary. Don't forget giveaway tonight, DJ. Giving away a tailgating kit at Calvary. That's a smoker. That's a grill.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a grill, excuse me, smoker. And a cooler and some Coke products.
Yes.
A really cool national championship 1980 Georgia tray, limited edition.
1980?
Signed by Vince Dooley.
Wow.
And it is the Coca-Cola on the bottom of it. They only had about 7 or 8 in their closet. I don't know how old these are. I don't know how authentic the signature is. I would have feel like anything related with Coke would have Vince Dooley's real signature.
Absolutely.
But that's one of the things that they're giving away. And how do you win? You got to be at the game. So show up and watch Pacelli Westfield girls at 5:30. And then at 7, it's Pacelli Calvary boys, region championship, both games. Halftime of it, they're doing a drawing. If you can't make it there, go to Columbus State. We've interviewed here on Sports Visions all 4 coaches in that middle school championship. It is going to be an incredible atmosphere, DJ. You know it. I know it. Everybody in the city knows it. And so giving away a TV, 55-inch Roku TV. Coach Kendall Mills, he's got something fun. He's going to be doing kind of like a knockout type game at halftime of the boys, and somebody's going to get that TV. So I am pleading with everybody in the community, get out and show support. And I hope that there is a packed house at both those. But that's not the only thing either, DJ, because we got 2 soccer games tonight that we are doing. Hardaway at Russell County and Opelika at Glenwood. So we got all this basketball going, and then we're deciding to do some soccer as well.
By the way, soccer teams, who are the top soccer teams? Or is there a boys and a girls soccer team?
Yeah, there's 2 soccer teams. And as I told most of my guys, when you do a soccer game, you're always probably going to do 2. Just like in basketball, very rarely are they not going to be playing because that's just a lot of traveling, and they're trying to consolidate when they don't want the girls travel on one day and then get another bus to do it on Tuesday. Why not travel the same time? So that's how they plan it, just like in basketball. Some of the top teams, Brookstone girls had a fantastic year last year. They lost to Pacelli girls in the state championship. Both those teams, seems like year in and year out, are playing against each other for that. So those are 2 of the top teams. On the girls' side, Columbus High has always had a perennial great team. We thought Alexandria Lofton, remember how great she was.
Oh, yeah.
They made it to the semifinals last year. Shaw's girls are really good and competitive. I'm expecting them to make a deep run. Smith Station, Brian Easton, he'd kill me. The AD over there, if I didn't mention his girls program, who was one of the top programs in the entire state of Alabama. On the boys' side, Pacelli, we talked to Coach Goja last year after he won a state championship, and he's feeling really good about his team this year. He's gotten 2 out of the last 3 years. That's right. He's got 2 out of the last 3 years. So we're expecting him to have a big season. Smith Station boys, pretty good. Columbus boys, always really good. Brookstone's expecting to make a comeback, and they were in the state finals a few years ago. So, yeah, just like in every sport, Jack Patterson says it all the time. By the way, I can't wait to get JP back on. Now that I say his name, it's been a while. And for those that are wondering, Jack is a father. And I know we've mentioned it before, but looking forward to getting him back on. But he says it all the time. it doesn't matter the sport. There's going to be teams competing for state champions. Glenwood as well. They're going to be making deep runs. So I'm excited about the upcoming soccer season for sure.
Speaking of the return of the Jack Patterson, of course, congratulations. He and his lovely wife have their newborn baby girl. And, we got to ease him back into this because, again, those mornings where he was getting up and then doing those hits with us again, now he has a newborn in the house.
Yep.
And obviously the mom and the baby deserves all of his care, even though he's back at work. He's still a newborn dad, and we have to respect him. And so we're going to definitely give him a chance to get his sea legs back because, again, he took 6 weeks of maternity leaves off. And, of course, being able to care for his lovely wife as well as his baby.
Yeah, no doubt. And this guy's he's been not just missed by us. He's missed at RBL. He's missed on people's TVs and can't wait to see Jack P back in full force.
Absolutely. Thrift, I tell you what, man, with all that's going on, guess what's going to happen Sunday? The NBA All-Star game. And it's the NBA All-Star weekend. However, again, a couple of guys that of note are just kind of gibblish, dingy right now. Well, of course, Cooper Flagg has a sprained foot.
Yep.
And he's going to have to miss all of the NBA All-Star action this weekend. Luka Doncic he's got a hamstring problem. He's supposed to miss a lot, but they say he's going to try to play. it's no way in the hell that I'm going to. I know for popularity and I know for voting wise, he had a lot of votes and a lot of popular. A lot of people wanted to see him play, but unfortunately, you know what? You got to take got to take care of your body. And but that's going to be going on in LA. How much of that you're going to watch?
I mean, I enjoyed it last year a little bit because I like the rookies. They were going against the world players, and it's always like right now it seems like the NBA American players are trying to catch up with the world players. Think about this: Giannis, Jokic, Wembanyama, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic. Those are all MVPs over the last 6 years. We have not had American MVP in a long time, DJ. I can't wait for it because I think there is some trash talking, and now you're telling me Luka's out. And then for the rookies, I thought Cooper Flagg could maybe make some noise. Now he's out, so I hate that a little bit, but I'm excited.
Even though he's hurt, but obviously the guy out at OKC, Gilgeous-Alexander, he was MVP, right?
Yeah, but he is from Canada.
Okay,
so
that's another one.
Yeah, so we have not had an American MVP. Let me think about it. I don't think since James Harden. Yeah, because after James Harden won it in 17, 18, the next couple of years were Giannis, and then it's been Jokic, Joel Embiid, another foreign player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, foreign player. Eventually, you got to think, where's the American players are going to make their comeback? Can't wait to see them going against the world players.
Absolutely. And that's the Stars and Stripes in the world. So that's 3 teams. They're going to play a little round-robin tournament, man, and I don't know how the format's going to work, but, again, what I do enjoy about this is you got the young guns, the young stars on one team, and you got the old hits on another, where both of those guys used to be in the same locker room. And again, the young guys had to respect of the older guys. Now they can kick the older guys' tail if that's what they can do. And then on top of that, you got the guys, the international team, the world team.
Yeah, and the main reason they did this, DJ, is because they wanted guys to start playing hard. So what do they think? Well, why not get some 18, 19-year-old that doesn't know any better, is not making real money, and wants to use this platform and this opportunity to let the world know who he is. And then that makes the other older players play hard because they don't want to get embarrassed by some young players going 100 miles an hour. And it worked a little bit last year. We'll see if it works this year.
Hey, coming up in just a little bit, we got a special guest for you. That's right. We got Dr. Stefan Lawrence. He is the principal of the Aaron Cohn Bulldogs.
I can't wait to see what he's wearing, man.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, I guarantee you he's going to be wearing something with black and orange in it.
That's the only thing he wears, it seems like.
All right. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
You a 10, baby girl, but I'm the one. You my little boo thing. So I'll give a hoot what you do, say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like
If it's local, it's on the Sportsvisions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed. Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Hi, folks. It's the Hubster again with Gill's Auto Sales. I want to begin by thanking the thousands of customers who have purchased vehicles from Gill's Auto Sales the past 39 years. And now we're excited to announce our 40th anniversary. This will be a year-long celebration at all 6 Gill's locations. Many dealers mark the price down on a few vehicles for a few days, and they call that a sale. But when you shop at Gill's, you select the vehicle that best fits your needs and budget from an inventory of over 400 vehicles. Plus, you will get a free 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on any vehicle you purchase. Y'all come see us.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show. Let's get back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer in the building. It's a great day for a great day.
DJ, I think this song's very fitting for our next guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he would say this probably his motto, if anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Sports Visions Morning Show, Dr. Kenneth Stefan Lawrence. How are you doing? Good morning.
Man, I love that song. I was hoping that would be able to keep playing in the background or something.
Hey, man, listen. Hey, thanks for coming on board with us here this morning of the Sports Visions Morning Show. Actually, I got a chance to see Leon Thomas for the first time at the Grammys last weekend, and man, that's the hottest song in America right now.
Talented brother, man, super talented, bringing R&B back in a big way, man. I'm excited about what he's doing, so that's awesome.
Absolutely. Let me do this right, man, because you are the son of one of the great basketball players that have come through this town. He's all by City 1979 and one of the great coaches as well. Kenneth Lawrence, Kenny Lawrence, as we know him affectionately as Coach Kenny Lawrence. Man, what it was like growing up as the you, of course, are of course accomplished in your own right, Dr. Stefan Lawrence, and of course you're a Georgia Bulldog as well as the Aaron Cohn Bulldog.
Go Dogs, yes sir.
Go Dogs. Growing up, the son of a legend. How was it? Was it tough? I mean, you know how it is. You know, your dad, and you're not as good as your dad. What did you have to go through any of that?
Well, you know, I actually absolutely had to go through that. Well, you know my father, Mr. DJ. So you know we're from Bellwood,
right?
The Lawrences in the Hills have a long history in Bellwood Heights in Columbus, Georgia, and so you know I grew up going and spending hours and days in Bellwood with cousins and uncles and aunties and grandparents and the whole shebang, because both of my parents are from Bellwood. So my parents grew up together, but they didn't start dating until after college. So I was in Bellwood 24/7. So that's all I heard was the moment I decided I was gonna pick up a ball, like, hey boy, you don't shoot that thing like your dad. And like but he's a great man. It was tough growing up his son, mostly from him. You know, he really had zero tolerance for foolishness. He wanted to make sure that he was raising a young man who could take care of his responsibilities and be respectable and contribute to society in an honorable way. So, you know, missing church wasn't an option, and you know, not going 100% on everything that I did wasn't an option. Not holding the door open or pulling out my sister's chair wasn't an option. Like those things just weren't an option. And I received immediate physical correction a lot. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man. Listen, you're doing a tremendous job. I love the enthusiasm. I love the energy. It radiates. You know, from afar. You might not think I'm watching you, but I see you all the time, man. And you make me proud of what, you know, because again, you know, our kids are our future, man. And again, who their leaders are, the kids are going to do what their leaders do, especially in a position like yours. And I know that you have been trained, you have been brought up in a way to, of course, you know, to inspire these kids. And I just want you to, I mean, I know that, you know, everybody has a different way of doing things, but what you're doing at Aaron Cohn, for those Bulldogs and that administration and that staff and those students. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it, Mr. Jones. You know, one of my kids I forget about this a lot until like my kids will remind me, but you know, I'm the first Black principal in the school history. And
yes.
I'm also by far the youngest. So the vibes are different, but you know, our school is changing. We are I'm proud to say that I think that I'm about to put our data out to really be studied. Because what I think you'll find at Aaron Cohn is what public schools across the nation are meant to be. And they're meant to be, you know, societal engines. And you know, America has always, since the inception of public school, looked to correct itself through public school, right? When too many young girls were getting pregnant, they put in sex ed. When teenage drivers were deadly, they put in driver's ed. When children were obese, they corrected the lunch. We've always tried to fix whatever we're noticing as a negative trend in America. We've always looked to do it through public education. And what I have here is the most diverse school in the district. And I also have the highest achieving middle school in the district. No magnet program, no recruiting, no excuses. And I think that what it shows is that you can have kids from low socioeconomic backgrounds, middle class, high socioeconomic backgrounds, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, boy, girl, gay, straight. It doesn't matter. That the diversity breeds, it just breeds success. And that no matter what you have, if you have proper structures in place, your children can achieve at a high level. And we take that from a holistic approach here at Aaron Cohn. We take it with academics, we take it with extracurriculars, we take it with athletics. So we just really want to attack the holistic child here. And I think that's what we do every day from a communitarian standpoint and a family oriented background. And we partner with home. And we always say we like to co-parent with home. We got them and then we tag them to you and then you bring them back to us. And we just really believe in that open communication, that open dialogue. And we just doing great things here.
And also, too, the biggest middle school. It's got the most students, too. I mean, it's incredible how many students are at Aaron Cohn.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
I thought.
No, sir.
I thought y'all were the biggest middle school. Y'all not the biggest middle school?
Absolutely not. The biggest middle school is Richards by far. Richards has high school numbers.
Holy smokes. I thought that was y'all from last time.
We are down. There are several middle schools that have more students than us. Veterans has more kids than us. It's several middle schools. We're right at 525. And so the school was built out here. For those in your audience that don't know, it sits right behind Pratt Whitney by Bull Creek Golf Course in the area of the DMV, around the corner from Matthews Elementary. And it is developing. So to your point, Thrift, I do think that we will start tapping against those numbers because they are building houses constantly out here. Realtors all the time are dropping off gifts for me by the school because frankly, they can charge more for their houses because Aaron Cohn performs at the level it does. So,
100%.
You don't think about things like that when you're the principal, but we're a realtor's dream. So things are just going good, but we are growing, Thrift. So we flirt with 550 every year.
Maybe let me stand corrected. Maybe just everybody wants to go to Aaron Cohn. Maybe that was it.
That is true. That is true. And can't say Thrift. And if they want to come,
you ain't hard to find.
I ain't hard to find.
Listen, that video had me weak. Stefan, you remind me a lot when I was a teacher, man. And it's like you're not friends with the kids, but you know how to have fun with them and you gather their respect because you're real with them. Talk about that for up-and-coming teachers, up-and-coming people that are involved with kids. You don't have to be their best friend for them to respect you. You can have fun with them while still being the adult. Help people understand that's why you're so great at what you do and gather not just the kids' respect, but the teachers as well.
Man, Thrift, I was a very, very young teacher. And I got my start, for those, like I said, in your audience, don't know, I got my start at Carver High School. I taught English for 8 years and was the assistant basketball coach to the great Warren Bueller, who the court there is named after. But I taught there 8 years. And I'll never forget my very first faculty meeting. All the new people had to stay after the season staff got to leave. And at that time, we were at Barringer Middle School. They were building Carver. And Craig Fitz was the assistant principal at the time. And Craig Fitz said, look here, all that stuff you heard about don't smile at them till January, kick that out the window. You can't be their best friend, but they got to like you. Because if they don't like you, or they feel as if you don't like them, it is going to be hell. And some of my colleagues did not take that. They listened to those old school teachers. I listened to Mr. Fitz. So I had a career, and I was able to walk that balance. And Thrift, now, I'm looking at those kids are grown. Like, I'm not married. I don't have kids. But like Kimion Woods, I taught him as a freshman.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He was my first kid on my own. Right. And now, me and Kimion are close. He started point guard for me for 4 years, and now he's married with kids and coaching at Double Churches Middle. And his wife, who's a year older than him, was also one of my students. She's a science teacher at Carver. So it's like now they're giving back, and now I'm like school grandpa age. Like, some of my kids at Carver, kids go to Aaron Cohn. and so like they come in with like, hey, Dr. Lawrence, I know you can't paddle no more, but if you need to take them out back, I'm like, yeah, I won't do that, but I got you. I got you. But yeah, it's you're right. You got to walk a fine line, and it's all about relationships, Thrift. Man, you know that with coaching, with teaching, with sports media, no significant learning or progress is made without a significant relationship first. So that's all that is.
He is Dr. Stefan Lawrence, and I know that he's our guest this morning on the Sportsvisions morning show. Dr. Lawrence, I mean, before we continue, you and I don't want to forget this. You've had a number of accolades and honors here in the last year or so, man. And I can't remember them all, but I know that you know what they are. Will you share them with the Sportsvisions Nation?
Shoot, man. Last year, okay, 5 under 40. For the Chattahoochee Valley.
5 under 40. Now, don't just run by it. What is 5 under 40?
So there's a really nice publication here called the Columbus in the Valley magazine.
Yes.
And every year they do an annual top 5 citizens of the area under 40.
Right.
So when I was 36, 37, okay. They named me to that. Last year, I was one of the speakers for the TED Talk that was held at the Bibb City Powerhouse. Okay. That was a really, really cool event. I had people that still like stop me on the street about their TED Talk. So I love that had an audience and people were able to glean something from that. Michael Soul hosted the end of the year awards.
Right.
The famous locally celebrity Michael Soul has been doing great stuff here for decades. Right. He had the end of the year awards, and I was voted as principal of the year. And then all the stuff for the past year that Aaron Cohn has been doing. We just had a fantastic year. Very proud. My school is one of the only schools, and I need to get that number exactly. But we're one of the very few schools that ranks in the top 25% for achievement in the state. But in the top 10% for diversity. Like, that list is super, super, super short. So we're very, very proud of the things we're doing here. Yes. And like I said, things are just going well. It's been a great year.
Dr. Lawrence, in addition to having you on as a guest and to celebrate Black History Month, to celebrate your success, I got to ask you some questions regarding some things that just been bothering me with regards to children in school. Now, the first thing is, why don't we have as a prerequisite, certain things like, finances and checking and insurance and taxes, and why we don't have the basic essentials of how to write a check? I mean, we don't write checks anymore, but the credit and the whole, everything that makes us this world turn, why is that not a part of what we are teaching our kids at a young age?
I do believe that once you move into high school, DJ, I do think that there are courses like personal finance and things like that. Now, there's more specifics. I agree with you. I would love to see the state of Georgia approve like a Georgia property tax code course or a Georgia tax code period, or even just basic like
Paying bills.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Like those type of things, I do think definitely have their place in school. From a middle school perspective, what I challenge my staff to do and what I think they do an amazing job of is everything is relevant. So that's a philosophy that I took as a teacher, is that when children are able to take ownership of their own learning and they're able to see themselves reflected in the material and able to tell how that material can be used in their lives, that the walls that kind of build for kids, they break those down themselves. And so like right now, yesterday I walked into a math class and they were doing percentages, and she immediately went to sales tax and things like that to make it relevant for those 7th graders about, hey, when you see a piece of a bag of chips for 99 cents,
right?
How come you can't just give the cashier $1? How does that get calculated?
Right.
What is needed there. And so so that's why we've seen some of the inroads we've been able to make as far as our progress academically that we're so proud of. And it's about making everything about your pedagogy culturally relevant.
Another question, and I know Thrift has some for you, but how do you feel about phones today? Obviously, is that do they walk through the doors? Do they have to put their phone, check the phones in the locker? I mean, that phone is such a distraction. I know it is. It's health. I know it's healthy, and they need it because parents can get, for safety reasons. But what's your policy with cell phones?
We were years and years ahead of the state mandate. The policy for the last 8 years at Aaron Cohn has been once the dismissal bell for you to get your stuff and go to class rings, that phone is to be turned off and in your locker. That is the policy. No ifs, ands, or buts. If I'm walking down the hallway and I hear your ringtone go off, I'm going to go in your locker. I'm going to take that phone, and then I'm going to tell you to come get it at the end of the day. We have a tiered system. So if you violate, like it's an issue, every violation, all the way up to where we start inconveniencing the parents. It's a parent pickup and plus a certain disciplinary recourse. So we really don't have that big of an issue here because we have what I believe is a fair and effective policy, and it's implemented for everyone. Like there aren't any exceptions to it. And so I make sure our faculty abides by it. Like, hey, I understand that you have an emergency, but I don't need to just see you texting away when I walk into a classroom. And so, we always, with everything we do, try to set good examples for the kids, but it's really not that big of an issue here. But what you said is key. It is most definitely a distraction. It's borderline addictive for these children. And once you're able to remove it away, it definitely facilitates accelerated learning for sure.
I completely agree with you, and I've had that same mindset. I can't stand when a kid wants to pull out a cell phone and we're in the middle of teaching or whatever it may be. So I'm glad you are giving your teachers the power to be teachers. And so they don't have to sit there and be the parent. Yes, they're going to have to dictate their classroom, but they're more about teaching what's going on. I do want you to talk about some of your teachers that include Coach Williams, Coach Stalling, and those that are involved mainly in athletics that have shown really all the middle school world how to do it over at Aaron Cohn. Y'all just win, it seems like, at every sport, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, Thrift, one thing that I just said from the top is that, hey, man, we need to be competing for championships. And what I look at is athlete development. Coach Williams and Coach Stalling do that at an incredibly high level. I don't want to leave out their assistants, Coach Hightower, who works by day at Rigdon Road, and coaches over here, and Coach Jones, who is a teacher here as well. They do an amazing job with our young ladies and our young men. They get better. I can tell that. And that's what you're mentioning. Right. I had a post when we lost the football championship to Rothschild that, we were not expected to go back because of how dominant we were. And most people just assumed that once a player like Zach Watts or Marte Sears is gone, that most schools dip for a year or two at least.
Right.
We went right back to the championship. And I knew we were because I knew about Justin McLean and Matthew McDowell and Toronto Jenkins and Jordan Nicholson and so on and so forth. I knew about these kids, but it's tiered here because I told our athletic director, I want athletic programs. I don't want good teams. I want programs because I'm at everything, as y'all probably know.
Yes.
And I'm not about to sit up and just watch us get our butt whooped. I'm not about to sit up there and watch that. So we gotta be in competition, and it doesn't need to be a fad at Aaron Cohn. But that's going on what I'm saying about the school culture, right? Our high academics doesn't need to be a fad. We don't need to be here. We need to be like it needs to be a steady, dependable progress towards what's right over my shoulder, right? Mamba mentality. That's what I infuse in our staff, right? That we are constantly striving to be the best version of ourselves every single day, that the finish line is imaginary and the job's never done. So yeah, my coaches don't even really celebrate championships. It's like, hey man, great job, everybody. Love y'all, outstanding, boom, boom, boom. They enjoy it for a day or two, and then they kind of like saving, like, all right, let's get back to it. So yeah, we're excited about tonight. Trying to do what happened in 2019 at Carver. That was a good feeling.
Yes.
So we came close last year. Our girls tripped up right at the line versus Fort. So we're hoping that we could go 2 for 2 this year. So we are back, and we are hoping for it.
Dr. Lawrence, I want you to expound on, if you would, in your words, because we often say on the Sports Visions morning show, yeah, we talk stats, we talk games, we talk scores, but we talk life. And in the realization of us talking about the success of your programs and under your leadership, how does that extend into to the school, the rest of the campus? Because again, with the winning and with the discipline, there comes a sense of pride with the students that don't play. They come and cheer on, the athletes, and there's a harmony there that you can't create anywhere else unless you have a successful program.
Yes, sir. Well, one thing I did learn from Carver for sure, and I mean, I can't say one thing. I've learned a bunch of things from my 8 years at Carver, but athletics has its place in the academic diaspora.
Right.
And what the reason why making sure that we had athletic programs was so important to me is because of what you just stated. I challenge everybody, even if you're neutral. We're having a blackout, so we're black. But even if you're neutral tonight, pay attention to Aaron Cohn. Pay attention to the students. Pay attention to our dance team. Pay attention to our mascot. Pay attention to our pep band. Pay attention to our cheerleaders. Pay attention to our faculty, parents. Those, pay attention to our student athletes when a call doesn't go their way and they look at their coach instead of fussing with a referee. These are the things that we try to instill in our young people. And this is why I think, kind of Thrift said jokingly, this is why people want to come here. And that's what we say. We're worth the drive. I can't send a bus to you, but I can promise that your child is going to have the very best that Muskogee County School District has to offer as far as instruction and as far as culture. And when you get to see your classmates have success, then you have it. And we're big on everything here, Mr. Jones. We're big on science fair. We have 2 kids going to the state science fair. We're big on Georgia authors competition. We're big on robotics team. Our robotics team was second in the state last year at Georgia Tech. Like, we're big on it all of it. We want it all. And we celebrate it all. And so we are excited about everything going on here, from the way our custodians keep our building clean to the way our student athletes perform in the field of competition.
Dr. Lawrence, tonight we're giving away a TV 55-inch. Are you
I gotta share that? I gotta share that with my folks.
We want everyone in attendance. I want CSU to be so packed out that they got to bring the top bleachers out as well. I want everyone in Columbus and the community come and show support. So I'm excited about tonight's game. Dr. Lawrence, can you, for the community out there, never been a part of a middle school game. The first time I ever really started broadcasting, Dr. Lawrence, I was off my phone. I know you remember this. And it was TJ Woods and Xavier Davies were going against each other. I think that catapulted.
At Columbus State at Spencer.
Columbus State. Now, this one's
that was their 7th grade year.
Yeah, 7th grade. And y'all won. That was Stallings' first championship. And Davies, it kind of catapulted the coverage in this area. I started realizing, man, there is a niche here. There's a lot of people in this stands, a lot of people watching. Talk about who's never experienced a middle school game, how incredible that atmosphere can be, man.
Man, it is electric. If you remember, Thrift, after that, for some reason, we moved the championship game to Spencer, and it shut the neighborhood down.
Yeah.
It was Aaron Cohn and Richards again. It was, and at that point, I knew that we had something special because they had merch. They had Xavier wears the hard cap. They had the hard cap versus like TJ, but they were like caricatures.
Yes.
And there were t-shirts, there were hats. I'm like, for a middle school game, like
unreal.
But the game was so good when they were in the 7th grade. I believe TJ Woodson had 29. I think X had 31, something like that. I mean, it was an insane game. One of the best games I've ever been to live. And so, it is, one of the reasons why I believe that college football is just so different than NFL is for the regional connection. And so, yeah, these people are going to come out and they're going to support. Now, we are trying to make inroads because we're the new kids on the block. Like our alumni, our first 8th graders, they're like 20, I don't know, they're like 25 now. Something like that. Rothschild has been, I think Rothschild might have been built in like 1966. Yeah. So, we're going against all that history, which we don't mind. We don't mind it at all.
Can I say this, Dr. Lawrence, real quick? Rothschild is very close to my heart. And the only reason I say this is because my granddad was there for many years. All those banners you see in the 80s and really catapulted Rothschild to be that dominant program was my granddad coaching there. So I'm not saying I'm cheering for anyone, so don't put that in my mouth right now. But I hear what you're saying. You got the history of Rothschild, and now y'all are becoming that new dominant team this year.
And these schools are such fixtures in the community. We give out the Chris Cox PE Award every year.
Yep.
To an 8th grader. His widow worked here as a science teacher for years. And Chris Cox was just an amazing human. That's who Rothschild's Gymnasium is named after.
Yep.
I went to Fort. So, I am a Fort Patriot. So, the inroads are just unavoidable. And what we are trying to do at Aaron Cohn is to establish our own history. And for those that are out in the community, please don't think that middle school sports is not for you. You are going to come. You are going to see 2 outstanding games. That I promise you. Now, in the semifinals, the boys' games were both blowouts, which was kind of disappointing, and I really didn't expect. But both of those girls' games were amazing. Amazing. We had the lead for 30 seconds and won in the girls' game versus Midland. And then Richards almost pulled off the upset. It was 27-27 with like 2 minutes to play. And so Richards almost got it done. But that's middle school sports. When you get to this level, the parity is there. All you got to do is go back and watch our football game between Aaron Cohn and Rothschild. Like the people who were streaming and tuning into that game, listen, it was cold that night. Okay, cool. You streamed it. But you can be in the building for this game. The tickets are, I want to say, $6. You catch 2 great games for $6. It's at a great venue, my alma mater, where I played ball, Columbus State. And like I said, Thrift, you said it. Let's bring out those bleachers, right? I think for XTJ version 1, I want to say there were 2,000 people at that game.
I think so.
And so even, we're looking to outdo that every year. Big shout out to those 2 doing great things at Northside and Carver. We want it to continue. And this is where you see those big time student athletes of tomorrow. You see them here. And that's why I told everybody about Zach Watts last year. See him while it's $6. Because when he playing in the Peach Bowl, it's going to be $6,000. See it now.
Well, Dr. Lawrence, I tell you what, man, you've been powerful. You've been impactful, and I want to keep it going on this note. And I want you to think about this, what I'm about to ask you. And again, I'm not going to step on any toes. If I do, shame on me. But because of your energy, because of your enthusiasm, because of the positivity and everything about you, there is that other lingering foggy cloud on the other side that has a way of circling up when they see people doing positive things. And of course, I don't know who your peer group is. All I know is that you had some terrific upbringing to accomplish the things that you have. But speak to, again, the positive attitude that you have, because, again, you know, everybody might look at you and think, okay, and it might even be some of your administrator peers or colleagues. But you know what? You understand the assignment. And with that said, definitely don't let, you know, the naysayers and the haters come in or infiltrate your camp. And I know that you have a strong fence up around you and you have your faith, but keep doing what you're doing. We need more people like you that were raising our kids, that are leading our kids. And I just wanted to say that publicly.
Man, I appreciate that, Mr. Jones. You know, when I got this job, the first thing my superintendent pulled me to the side and says, look, man, you're going to get flack because you are so different.
Right.
And he said, but you got this job because Aaron Cohn is so different, you know. Right. And so my superintendent encouraged me to be bold, to take risks. He specifically made mention. He said, look, man, as much walking around the building as I've seen you do, you keep wearing those suits and Jordans, you keep being yourself, and people are gonna love you, because at the end of the day, results talk. And that's just been my motto. I got a great boss in Dr. Lewis. I got a great region chief in Marty Richburg, who's a former principal, and they just empower me to authentically be myself, because one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a way to connect to my why, and my why are these kids, and everything that I do from a professional standpoint is going to be tailored to them. And so we believe in a culture we here at Muskogee County, and listen, you know, right or wrong, good or bad,
ain't hard to find.
And you're going to find him tonight. Before you leave, though, Dr. Lawrence, I got to ask, because this is something that's been going around, and someone that played at CSU, you didn't turn your nose up at a D2 program offering you. And I feel like kids nowadays, Terrence Hill, the coach over at Columbus High, great basketball player at Jordan, went and played D1. He said,
that's my little cousin.
D1 mentality, coach, is killing kids. And now it's even harder to get recruited because those spots are even smaller now because of the transfer portal and everything else. This is your motto, your message to kids out there right now on why, if they get a scholarship, they need to take advantage of it. And the main reason I'm bringing this up, because one of your former coaches, Corey Black, just commented saying, love to see my former players excelling in you. So talk about why.
Coach, I appreciate Coach Black, I appreciate you, man. Going up there, convincing Herbert Green to take a chance on a skinny kid around the corner. And you know, it's let me borrow a phrase from Coach Black. It's not D1, not D2, not D3, D-free. Yes. Love who loves you. That's what I told all my athletes at Carver when they were getting recruited. Love who loves you. And it is, like you said, it's changing the landscape of college athletics. But at the end of the day, the numbers on getting to the NFL and the numbers on getting to the NBA are still the same. Mm-hmm. They're still the same. You need to get an education. You need to get an education. I don't care how much NIL money they throw at you. $300,000 does not last forever. 500,000, 700, 2 million. It doesn't last forever. You need to be making a way to use college to teach you how to fish. And that's because the ball gonna stop bouncing. And I can testify to that. A right ACL and a right rotator cuff later, all courtesy of college athletics, operated on by the late Champ Baker Jr. I got to figure out something else.
Yeah,
I got to figure out something else to do. And CSU prepared me. You know, CSU prepared me to really do the work. And I'm thankful for it, man. I'm blessed, but that's a great message, man. Not D1, D2, D3, D-free.
Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you what, man, this has been an outstanding conversation. And I know that many who didn't wake up this morning to hear it will want to hear it. So Thrift, tell them how they can do that.
Yeah, well, they'll be played tomorrow for one on the Best Stuff Show. We got a Best Stuff Show tomorrow. This will be replayed, and you can go back on YouTube and on Facebook right now. And then if you rather, because, you know, I know you, Dr. Lawrence, you're always moving and grooving. You don't have to watch it. Just get on Spotify, podcast, put in your earbud, re-listen to this interview anytime you like, man. It was awesome to be able to talk to you, Dr. Lawrence.
Now, I appreciate y'all, and I want to tell y'all, man, continue to do the work that y'all are doing for the community. These banquets y'all are holding, these coaching clinics, these things that y'all are doing, this exposure y'all are giving athletes from all walks of life. And y'all really don't understand what y'all are doing for the community. Sports has always been big here, and you guys are just continuing to take it into the next chapter with the streaming and everything like that. God bless y'all. Anything that we can do here at Aaron Cohn to facilitate y'all effort, please let me know, because
Doc, we appreciate you, man. Have a great rest of your morning.
Hey,
fellas, thank y'all. See y'all tonight. Go Dogs.
Lawrence.
Go Dogs.
Man, that's unbelievable.
Powerful. I mean, that's what it's all about, again. And it's and as I always say, Thrift, for the betterment of this community, having voices like that. And again, you're not going to have everybody that's going to agree with you, but all you have to do is lead and continue to win.
Yeah, and keep smiling and do you. That's one thing Dr. Lawrence says. You can like me, love me, hate me. You're going to damn sure respect me. I'm going to be me.
Absolutely. Hey, let's go ahead and take a break. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you are listening to WOTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
She said, take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. I can smoke already, so hard in my blood.
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Jennings, and here are your morning headlines. 35-year-old Timothy Massengill of LaGrange and Angela Dinkins of Columbus are in Hancock County Jail this morning. The two are believed to have been using a drone to smuggle contraband into the Hancock State Prison. A search of their vehicle resulted in over 11 pounds of marijuana and $1,000 cash. Meanwhile, 58-year-old Charles Monfrey Sr. is behind bars this morning. Monfrey is charged with child molestation, sexual exploitation of a child, and sexual battery. Both the Muskogee and Harris County Sheriff's offices investigated Monfrey and are expecting more criminal charges to be added. Lastly, in Marion County, 45-year-old Amanda Jackson faces charges of malice and felony murder, among others, in connection to the fatal shooting of 58-year-old Philip Jackson on January 31st. He later died on February 7th. From WRBL News 3, I'm Michelle Jennings. Have a joyful rest of your day.
Good Thursday morning. We are waking up to clear skies across the region with those temperatures in the 40s. We're going to be tracking plenty of sun in today's forecast, with those high temperatures reaching the upper 60s later today. Tonight, clear and pleasant, lows falling into the low 40s. We're talking about another pleasant day for Friday as we close out the week with plenty of sun. Come the weekend, clouds build for your Saturday, and showers and storms likely on Sunday.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
Attorney Advertising, Lake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia, 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top Dog does not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
Remember when I told you to call your insurance company and bark like a dog? Remember I said that? Whatever you do, don't do that. They don't like that. It was just a joke. Bought your wife a cat. She ain't want no cat. She wanted a dog. Like dog on TV. Like Top Dog commercial. Did you see the dog? He on TV now. Did you see the dog? Everywhere we go, it's Top Dog. It's Top Dog. Everything you hear is Top Dog. It's Top Dog. Everything you see is Top Dog. It's Top Dog. Any type of accident, Top Dog. Top Dog. Get into an accident and you call the dog. Top Dog Law.
Hey folks, this is Michael Bratton from Bratton Automotive. It doesn't matter who's number one in the area or number two in the area or even number three in the area. What matters is you, the customer. At Bratton Automotive, I'm going to put you number one. That's the real person that needs to be number one. Come see me. I'm going to make you smile. I've got financing for everybody. And remember, I stack them deep and sell them cheap, and you're the number one person I'm concerned about, the customer. At Bratton Automotive, where everybody leaves with a smile.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Corey's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
February is the month for love, and Gorey's Furniture Express wants to show their love for you, their customers, with free local delivery during the month of February on purchases of $1,000 or more. Free local delivery during the month of February, and that's only at Gorey's Furniture, and that's why you're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Can we just talk?
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer in the building. It's Throwback Thursday, and of course, a big shout out to all of our listeners out there. Coach Corey Black, we appreciate you, brother. We see you out there. Sylvester Elkins, Dr. Killer, thank you, man. We appreciate you joining in, and of course, Gerald Bedgood, and of course, Stanley Crowell, and all of the folks out there listening. Even if you haven't checked in with the chat, we appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started. Thrift, it's been a powerful show today, yesterday, and the day before that. It was, I tell you, man, we're starting to become just a normal thing here. And again, if you haven't been able to share the good news with all of your friends, and yet shame on you.
Yeah, no doubt. And man, what an interview. Gary kicking it off and then getting to talk to Hall of Famer Mark Levy. And then that right there with Dr. Lawrence, that's a keeper that we can play for many times. And we hit on so many different subjects. I did want to mention this real quick, DJ. Don't forget about the Rothschild Leadership Academy Gymnasium demolition ceremony. So that great gymnasium that Dr. Lawrence is talking about, all the history with Rothschild and the championships, the banners, the Brinson Buckners, the Dale McGee's, the Larry Bushes that have come, Wayne Johnsons that have come through that program. They're now remodeling the gym. So they're going to be having a demolition ceremony. I'm going to try to get my granddad out there for it. And if anyone wants to be in attendance, it's 10 o'clock this Friday. Shout out to the director of construction.
This Friday?
Yep, this Friday.
Wow.
Yep, I know, really quick turnaround. This Friday, February 13th, 10 a.m. They are inviting everyone to come out. And thank you to Jeff Battles. We haven't talked to him in quite some time. I know he's having fun with his construction job.
That's our guy. He's a corporate guy now. He's a corporate. He wears a tie with a hard hat.
But he's listening right now. I'll tell
Absolutely.
you that. He lives in his truck, but he lives in his truck listening to Sports Visions.
But yeah, Jeff, good job. And of course, I'm glad that they're making a change, or at least redoing that building, because they're going to need more room for banners, because those coaches over there now, Coach West and the like, those banners are not going anywhere. They got a ton now. And it seems like more to come.
Yeah, it does. And they just got one this year with football. Can Coach West do it in basketball? These are the two best teams. You heard Coach Dr. Lawrence. Both the boys, Aaron Cohn and Rothschild, have dominated everyone all season long. And so they'll be facing off against each other tonight. As far as the girls, Coach Ward and Coach Williams, tell me if you heard those two face against each other a couple times, man. And they're going to go again tonight. I think everybody's looking forward to what's going to happen. What are they going to be wearing?
Absolutely. And Thrift, also, I guess, before you got in, obviously the Maxwell Football Club today, actually yesterday, announced that the creation of the Herschel Walker Award.
Oh, wow.
This is a new annual honor recognizing former collegiate or professional football players who have returned to complete their undergraduate degrees, exemplifying perseverance, personal growth, and a lifelong commitment to education. Now, the award was named for Herschel, and obviously we know that Herschel, in his junior year, left to play professional football in the USFL. But nearly 40 years later, he went back to school, got his degree, and now the Maxwell Foundation Club has need to, of course, honor Herschel by naming this award and giving it to guys that professional athletes or anybody else that has to leave college that came back and, of course, got their education.
I love that, and I love that he's and this is happening for him. I know you're a big advocate for Herschel Walker, and I'm glad that he's getting his limelight. And again, good press being out there put about the great Herschel Walker.
Absolutely, and of course, the other good news out of the Braves camp is that obviously, Ronald Acuna Jr. has basically signed off and says he is healthy. He played winter ball in Venezuela, his hometown, his home country, and he's getting ready to go play in the World Baseball Classic down in Miami. And, we were talking to Garey Ingram earlier, and again, Ronald, as much as we love you and as healthy as you are, I think that is a bit stretch. I know that the Braves and maybe Anthopoulos and those guys, and the new Walt Weiss, the new manager, have their say. But, the bottom line is, I would not recommend letting Ronald go down and play in the World Baseball Classic because, again, he's healthy. I would love for him to have all of his energy, everything ready and focused on opening day for the Atlanta Braves this season. I know that, he's representing his country as one of the goals that he has and that most people have. If you have an opportunity to represent your country in the Olympic, in the Baseball Classic, so be it. But because this is a contract year, and I think that he's basically gambling and he's just throwing in, throwing his cards on the table.
Yeah, and this is the type of thing in which two things happen: either something catastrophic, which I'm not going to will happen, or he's going to have the best year of his career because he wants that $500 million.
It's money time,
which can be twofold. Which means this may be the last year we're ever going to have Ronald Acuna Jr., but it could also be the best year we ever have with him. So how did the Braves feel about it? Think about what Freddie Freeman, remember his last year with the Braves?
Yes.
Fantastic MVP season the year before and helped lead the Braves to a world championship. Is that what's going to happen with Ronald? And are Braves fans going to be okay? Him dominating this year, winning a championship, and then leaving to go play for the Yankees.
NBA All-Star game this weekend, but there won't be any Cooper Flag, bad foot. Luka Doncic has a bad hamstring. Will that affect you watching the game through?
No. Listen, I tune in. I enjoy it a little bit. I watch a little bit of the dunk contest. It just doesn't have that same flair that it used to. To be quite frank with you, I have watched a few All-Star games since my favorite player, and Dr. Lawrence mentioned Mamba Mentality, Kobe Bryant. I watched every All-Star game he was in because I knew he was playing 100 miles an hour, and whoever he was guarding, whether it be LeBron or whoever, he was going to play hard. That's why he was one of my favorite players. When he stopped, I watched some Steph Curry ones because, he had some where he hit like 15 threes in a game, which is fun. But it's the thing that I've always said about the All-Star game, and same thing with kind of the Pro Bowl. It's like, yeah, you want the best because they should be rewarded because that All-Star by your name helps you become a Hall of Famer. But to be frank with you, I don't want to watch Nikola Jokic playing an All-Star game. I'd rather watch a player that can jump out the gym. I'd rather watch someone like Cam Thomas that can cross you up. Are these All-Star worthy players? No. Are they championship worthy players? No. But I want the All-Star game to be like a street ball game, a one-on-one game. I want it to be fun and entertaining. I would rather see a bunch of Jamal Crawfords out there that can throw alley-oops and have fun than I would trying to watch LeBron James and Jokic go half-ass and not really care. And I'm hoping now when they included the rookies, that's what they're trying to do. So, yes, I will tune in. That was a long answer, but yes.
All right, let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, Sports Visions 921.
The YMCA is just a starting line. For the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your Y. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Garey's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
February is the month for love, and Garey's Furniture Express wants to show their love for you, their customers, with free local delivery during the month of February on purchases of $1,000 or more. Free local delivery during the month of February, and that's only at Garey's Furniture, and that's why you're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, you can upgrade to a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $499.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
You're waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Sports Visions morning show. DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. And you might ask, DJ, what does Sports Visions have going on in the next couple of months? I'm glad you asked that question because we have, of course, our 5th annual San Mark Foundation All by City Boys and Girls Basketball Awards Luncheon that's going to be coming up on Thursday, March the 12th. At St. Luke Ministry Center, 11:30. And, of course, that's where we'll have all 15 of the Bi-City schools that we will honor and recognize both boys and girls and the best coaches. We'll have them right there under one roof, and we'll do what we do. We're doing it on behalf of the San Mark Foundation, and it's presented by Sports Visions 92.1. But, Thrift, I tell you what, as we go into these playoffs, and some of these teams will not only win region championships, but they'll also have an opportunity to, of course, go after the state championships, and we'll see a lot of those athletes at that awards luncheon.
Yeah, we 100% will, and look forward to showcasing all the talented teams. Now the region tournament's ending. Teams like Glenwood already in the playoffs. They got playoff games this weekend, girls on Friday, boys on Saturday. You got area tournament, boys tonight, girls last night for Central and Smith Station. Central won and Auburn won. So Central and Auburn will be playing against each other in the championship coming up on Friday. And then on Saturday, they'll be playing the winner of tonight's games. Central, Smith Station, Opelika, and Auburn are going to be facing off against each other. And then those boys' games are up for grabs. And you got all the other region tournaments happening. So basketball is almost coming to an end, DJ. I can't believe it.
I want to give us a little bit more information about the San Mark Awards. And again, Mark Upshaw and Sam Mitchell both are San Mark. They are San Mark Foundation. And I'm doing this award ceremony on behalf of them, but these are the schools involved with it, and I don't take for granted that the schools these are the schools: Brookstone, Calvary Christian, Carver, Central, Columbus, Glenwood, Hardaway, Harris County, Jordan, Kendrick, Northside, St. Anne Pacelli, Spencer, Shaw, and Russell County. So those are the schools, because those are the schools that those guys want, and that the Bi-City as they knew it. Again, and I know that Sports Visions has spoiled a lot of schools that goes outside of our inner city, the Bi-City areas, because again, our reach that we've had, and of course, the 18 years that we've been doing it, and this is just the 5th year, so it's growing, and I guess just chalk it up to having an opportunity to one day get to the 30 teams that we have on the Sports Vision side. But the San Mark Foundation definitely deserves a lot of credit for honoring these 15 schools.
And I can't wait to see those 15 schools at the luncheon and representing, as always, their schools and their programs and the hard work they had this year. So thank you again to Sam and Mark for putting this on.
In addition to, of course, having honoring the best boy and girl from these schools, the MVP, we'll have San Mark Foundation Specialty Awards, and that includes the San Mark Foundation Academic Award, the TSIS Defensive Player of the Year Award, the Synovus Offensive Player of the Year Award, and don't forget that that's both boys and girls in the category, the Grant Williams Work Ethic and Team Award, the Calvin Smyrie Legacy Award, and also the Mark Upshaw Player of the Year and the Sam Mitchell Coach of the Year Awards.
Yeah, I can't wait. And I got a few in mind right now, DJ.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be advocating for. And we've had some fantastic seasons this year, DJ. And I'm telling you, I've really commended all these coaches, especially on the boys' side. I think we have a legitimate chance. I know Chattahoochee County's not on there right now, and eventually we'll hopefully be able to extend to them, but they're a team that could win a championship along with Carver could win a championship this year. Pacelli's a prohibitive favorite. So we could have multiple teams in our viewing area and multiple teams from those 15 schools that could have rings this year.
Once again, we really appreciate the fact that Dr. Stefan Lawrence had the opportunity to spend time with us. And again, for us to give you an opportunity to get to know him, because again, if you don't know him and you just met him, you're like, wow, that's the kind of young talent that we have out here in our community working with our kids. And I tell you what, I couldn't be more proud. There are others as well. Don't think we're on there. He's not the only one. There's others out there, but we wanted to bring him on board again because again, not only because they were playing in the championship game today, and I want to make sure that everybody make plans to get out there today. Thrift, what time will the game start?
6 and 7:30. So I suggest everyone out there, you get there early because it's going to be a packed house. 6 and 7:30, and then at Calvary 5:30 and 7. So 2 locations: Middle School Championship, Columbus State, Calvary hosting the GIAA Championship, with Pacelli playing in it, giving away tailgating at Calvary, TV at Columbus State. Come have some fun. Hopefully we'll see you there, DJ.
Ricky Rogers, he, of course, was on. He was telling us all about the podcast and getting ready for the Clingstone season. Is it called a Stoner Cast?
Stoner Cast, and can you believe it? We almost to baseball season, DJ. Yep. We're about to start year 2 of the Clingstones. We feel like we just finished year 1.
And congratulations to Mark Levy. He's going into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. We had a wonderful visit with him, and him enlightening us on all those terrific different things from pickleball to tennis, to softball, to running. I mean, it's amazing what this guy has been able to do, and we appreciate him for that. And, of course, our guy, Garey Ingram, our Major League Baseball contributor. And, of course, he gave all of us a good lesson on little leagues and equipment and making decisions on purchases and decisions on batting instructors. And we appreciate everything that all of our guests have done. Hey, man, you hear the music. You know what that means. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sports Visions Morning Show. On behalf of Thrift Barringer, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
I find you, I give you all you needing. I know what you like. I feel it coming. Time is of the